Luister, Charleston White bedoelde je? Charleston White.
Ja.
Help
Hoe
the
weet je
Hood. Ja, hier Charleston White Help the Hood, nog wat.
Ja, precies. Die
Ja.
was ik even aan het checken.
Van die max 15 minuten video's. Ik ga altijd overal tussendoor schoppen, zeg maar. Shalom, shalom.
Ben je gecheckt?
Zet even iets op die commentboard boven gezet. Bekeken of dat werkt.
Hoor je wat?
Test of shalom.
Somebody coming up.
Hey, you people, I love you people, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know me, eh, from here. Hi, man. I'm Roberto.
Jongen.
Nice to meet you.
Jong.
Yes, that?
Ja toch?
Of course, hey. I'm bald too, man.
Ja, dat is goed man.
Ja?
Ik praat gewoon Nederlands.
Ja, ik praat Nederlands.
Oké.
We gaan nu beginnen met teachen.
Ja,
Voor de mensen op internet toch?
is goed.
Als je vragen hebt of zo, dan
Zeker,
kan je
weet ik wel.
stellen.
Dankjewel.
God, Shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites coming week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom. But before we start, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Noso for teaching us His truth and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.
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 Yeah, man, let's go into Habakkuk 1, verse 5, I believe.
Embrace.
Because our people are spread across the four winds of the earth, man. Our people are all over the place, you know. You have your phone. Okay, go to Tobit 13. Come, you can read 1 verse 5.
This is Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 5. Behold ye among the heathen, and regard, and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you.
Yeah, man, so it says, behold ye among the heathen. And who's that talking about? That's talking about the Israelites that are among the heathen. Because the Most High, He had scattered us. You know, like it says in, what was it, Deuteronomy 32.
26.
God, if you can grab that. Because we didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We didn't follow the Most High with all joy in heart, you know. We went to these other nations, their gods, and time again, you know, the Most High had to correct us. You know, like in the time of Judges, the Most High would put up a judge for us. We would follow the ways of the Most High, and then after a while we would fall back and fall after these gods, follow these gods of these other nations. You know, so the Most High caused us to be spread among these heathen nations. You like these heathen nations, right? So here you go.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 26. I said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
Yeah, man, so this is what the Most High did. The Most High, He took us and then He scattered us across the four winds of the earth among the heathens. That's why it says in Habakkuk 1 verse 5, ye among the heathen. You know?
I got a precept on the Habakkuk 1 and 5.
Read the Deuteronomy again, Bapusha, because something was in my mind, but then it...
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 26. I said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
Yeah, Jeremiah 17 and 4. It's the Most High's bidding, man. It's the Most High's will. He wanted us to be scattered across the four corners of the earth, and then He took our heritage from us, you know? And that also goes into Psalms 83, if you can grab that.
This is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Okay, go to, what was it, 2 Thessalonians 2, with the falling away. Because the Most High did this. The Most High, He's the power that caused us to be spread across the four corners of the earth, caused us to lose our heritage, because in the other captivities that we were, you know, in the Babylonian captivity, Assyrian captivity, Medo-Persian captivity, Greek captivity, that's when it started to, you know, we started to lose our heritage. No, not there actually. After the Roman Empire came back, you know, that's where, because we were also rulers in Europe. We kind of knew about who we were, but still, we were still called Moors. You know, we were mingling the how you call it, the
Pagan?
Roman pagan customs with the scriptures. But now, after the transatlantic slave trade, we got destroyed completely. You see? So it's the Most High's will. The Most High made us to lose our heritage. And what did he do? He put all these nations, which we like, which we wanted to go to, we wanted to go to their gods, he put it in their spirit to hate us, you know,
That's
to come against us.
Psalms 83?
Gone.
The book of Psalms chapter 83 verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
You see? So a tumult is for example, here you have, it's not Feyenoord, this is Ajax Stadium, you know, so when there's a football match, they make a tumult. They're roaring, you know, they're screaming, they're making all kinds of sounds. That's a tumult. So the people that hate thee, so the Most High says that these people, they're gonna hate you, you know. We love them, but they hate us. So, but yeah, that's what we wanted, our forefathers wanted. They wanted to go after these gods, so this is what you get. So they that hate thee,
They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Yeah, so the Most High is the one that put it in their mind to come up with this crafty counsel, you know, because the Most High, he uses men of the world to do his bidding. He doesn't come with his hand out of heaven, you know, out of the other dimension to put pieces, but actually he does, but you don't see it, you know. It's other dimension that the Most High works on, you know. So he sends his angels, and he sends the left hand side demons also, you know, to do the bidding, just like how a chess player, you know, he plays chess with his hands. That's how the Most High, he also used these kings and these other nations like pawns, you know. So the Most High put it in their mind, according to Daniel, what was it, Daniel 4?
4 and 17, also Psalms chapter 17.
Yeah, give me the Daniel book, sure. Or whichever one you have. So you see, this is all the master plan of the Most High. You know, if you don't understand it, then you know it's hard to figure out what the Most High did. Actually, they always say the Most High works in mysterious ways. So here are the prophets. They are telling you how the Most High works. We're telling you how the Most High plans things out and how he prophesies about what's going to happen. You know. You have to have guidance. You have to have men that know about this truth to explain it. You see?
Daniel's Psalms.
Give me the Daniel book, sure.
This is Daniel's chapter 4 verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of man, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of man.
Yeah, see, so it's the Most High, he rules in the kingdom of men. And he set up kings and he takes down kings. And who did he set up now? The basis of men. And who's the basis of men? According to Job 30, it's Esau. You know, he's a base man, viler than the earth. You see?
Got a quick precept if I can quickly grab it. Yeah, this is Psalms chapter 75 and verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another.
Yeah, beautiful, man. That's what the Most High does. The Most High, he changes the rulers, you know. And in this case, Esau is the ruler right now. This is the last nation that's gonna rule over us, and that's when the tides are gonna change, and the Most High is gonna cause Israel to be ruling. is going to be the Most High's empire, you know. So
No.
going back, you had other ones on this topic.
I appreciate-
Yeah, on the hand that you was referring to.
Mhm.
This is Psalms chapter 17, starting at verse 13. Arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand, O Lord Yahweh, from men of the world which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasures. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes.
Yeah, man. So this is what the Most High does. The Most High, he uses men as his hand, you know, as a whipping stick. For the wicked, protect me from the wicked, which is thy sword, you know. So the wicked, who are the wicked? According to, what was it, Job 9, you know, the world is given into the hand of the wicked. You have these, beautiful.
This is Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
So who is the ruling class right now? Who has all these banking, these banks? Who has all these banks? Which nation on the planet Earth? You can't say that it's an Israelite. You can't, because you see Jay-Z and Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, all these men, they have money, but they don't have money like that. They can't print money. You know, they get the money from these
Amalekites.
Amalekites. Yeah.
All these record labels are owned by Amalek.
Some people don't understand that if $250 million a year is an easy job to pay, man. Because for these guys, like, yo, take it, man. You want more? Take it. So that's, these people, they don't imagine how filthy rich these people are,
Yeah,
or
they-
claim to be.
They make money.
Yeah.
You know, so they have the banks, so they don't have these normal worries that we have. Like, hey, shit, I gotta pay rent. Oh shit, I gotta eat. I gotta eat healthy. You know, oh shit, that's even more money. So you take the best from the worst. No, man, these people, they don't have stress like that, like what we have. You see. So protect me from the wicked, which is thy sword, and we already know that's the so-called white man, and the chief tribe of the so-called white man is Amalek, you know. So they are the ones that are pulling these strings behind the presidents and all these political parties. You know, you think that you have on the one hand you have the Democrats, and on the other hand you have the Republicans, and if you choose one of them, you know that the situation is going to change. It doesn't matter, you know, just like it says in what was it, Revelation? Let me grab it real quick. Revelation 12.
The Lamb with the ones?
Yeah.
11. Or no.
I thought it was 12, but let me see.
I have the scripture. Concerning the payments.
13. It was 13. Revelations 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast, which that other beast is America, coming up of the earth, out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So these two horns, they represent the Republicans and the Democrats, you know. And he looks like a lamb, but he's basically a dragon, because he comes with draconian laws. You see, like it says in Isaiah 10, you know, and also in the book of Psalms, he comes with grievous laws. But just to stay on the topic,
The beast is referring to the revived Roman Empire. Basically the Roman Empire.
so it's the revived Roman Empire.
And also he comes with soft words, but
Yeah.
war is in his heart.
Yes, that's true.
You wanted Isaiah 10, hè?
Yeah. Had je die dingen nog, die Psalms? Wat je had gelezen? Weet je het?
13? Ik had hem laten vallen, maar ik kan hem zo pakken. Ik ga eens die Isaiah pakken voor je.
Yeah, man, because once you know how the Most High works, then you're gonna be more at ease, you know. Because people,
Isaiah.
I remember when I came into the truth, you know, I wanted to do something about the situation. You want to change the situation because you see wickedness running rampant. But once you come into this truth, you know, like it says in Ecclesiastes 1:18, the more you know, the more grief you get. You know, and Ecclesiastes 7:7 also says that oppression maketh the wise man mad, So all these feelings, you get these feelings, you know. You learn more about the scriptures, you learn about what this so-called white man did, Esau. So you get stirred up. But then you also have the scriptures which say, don't let the sun fall down on your wrath, you know. The Most High is going to fight for you. So that calms you down also. But you have to go through this roller coaster of emotions just to understand how the Most High works. You see?
Which one you want first, Isaiah or the...
Isaiah 1? 10?
This is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
Yeah, man. So the ones that write grievousness and these decrees that they make, you know, you saw it 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they came with laws, so you have to follow these laws. You know, you have to stick something, a Q-tip in your nose. You know, these men, yeah, these men, they have been put there from the Most High to do His bidding. So you see that He comes with draconian laws. He comes with a snake tongue to catch you up in His snares. That's how this man works. You know, he lays snares and then he catches you with it.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
If you go into that word grievousness, if you look that up in the Farlex dictionary, it also goes into causing fear and anxiety. And that's what they've been doing, man, with all these laws that they put forth. Yeah, you know, you can't go to the supermarket without this, you know, application, without this, that, and the third.
Yeah, QR
Why?
codes.
Exactly, man, because the people are afraid to lose their house, not being able to provide for their family, you know. So because of that, they're causing fear, and because of the fear, they're able to basically do things, man.
Yeah, they control you. They control you by fear. Yeah, that's true. So the previous laws pertaining to Revelation, you know, they come with draconian laws. You know, they're grievous for these people, but that's how you see this man is wicked. You know, he always comes with schemes and snares just to forward his agenda. Yeah. And what is his agenda? Ultimately, the New World Order. But yeah, not to go too deep into that, let's go back to the Psalms with the wicked, that the Most High, He uses men.
Can I add a little bit to it? Because I saw that was on Redacted, that news channel stuff, but that independent news channel. Yeah. They said that there's like in every state of the United States right now, demanding the students, so the colleges in these the students in these colleges need to be vaccinated, and there's maybe like I saw the list. There's maybe like 4 or 5 states,
yeah,
that don't apply to it, so they don't demand their people to do it.
Wow.
And I was thinking like, okay, so they got the whole world in that World Cup shit right now. You know, hoe noem je afleiden in het Engels ook alweer?
Distraction.
Yeah,
Distraction. Because when you turn on the news, it's all about the one love wristband or you know. Yeah. So they distract the people in the meantime than doing that shit.
Yeah, they pushing their laws and agenda, you know.
Yeah, man.
That's what they do. They give people bread and circus so that the people are focused on that.
Yeah, man. That's what I wanted to go into, yeah. But not, that's just what I wanted to point out. It's the bread and circus.
Yeah.
I often say that which is being shown in the media, you have to look behind that to see what they're doing, you know, behind closets, man.
Yeah.
What is the thing that they don't want you to see or know about, but doing at the same time?
That's the time that you're about, actually you have to look at these executive orders and stuff like that. You know, when the whole world is focused on a certain event, you gotta go and check the laws and legislations that they're pulling, man.
This is Psalms chapter 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Yeah, so the wicked is the sword of the Most High. That's the whipping stick of the Most High. That's what the Most High uses to correct Israel, you know, because of our transgressions, the transgressions of our forefathers. Go ahead.
Verse 14, from men which are thy hand, O Lord Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure.
You see, so in this life they have their portion. That's why also Habakkuk, what we are going into, he was seeing the wicked prosper, you know. But this is their time to live it up, you know. They say YOLO, you only live once. So that's how these elites think. That's how the people of the world think. You know, that's what they're pushing. But a spiritual man, he knows that you have something like reincarnation, and that you have to keep yourself clean and pure. You know, but these people, they think, oh, we only live once, so we might as well do what the hell we want, what the hell we feel like.
I have that precept for you, the brother.
It was in Wisdom of Solomon, yeah.
You have it?
You have it.
Yeah, read it.
Okay. Wait, I have to find it out. Wisdom of Solomon 2, 1 and 3. Yeah, here.
Because we're speaking about the elites, right? The elites, they are the wicked. You know, they are the modern day Chaldees. The Chaldeans, the ones that put spells and incantations upon people. You know, they push these rap videos, these rappers and this music. They put spells upon our people, that our people think that they're thugs and that they're you know,
They have to be tough.
yeah. Shalom, ya Bashem Mashiach, Bashem Makakadas Rakita. Shalom, ya Bashem Mashiach, Bashem Makakadas Rakita. Yeah, man. So these are the modern day sorcerers, you know, the Chaldeans.
Ja, erin toch? Of gewoon ossen?
Ja, nee, ja.
Wisdom of Solomon.
Oh, here is it.
Heb je het al?
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright, our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
You see, the ungodly said that, and these people, they're contrary unto God, unto the Most High, unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They serve Satan, you know. So that's what they come with, that Alistair Crawley spirit, you know, do as thou wilt. You see?
Because the same scripture says, reasoning within themselves but not aright. So what they're thinking is incorrect.
Yep.
Because there's such a thing as reincarnation. And the elites know. That's why they intermingle within themselves to keep that money that they have among their own.
Yeah, they only go keep it in the same bloodline because they know they have all the records.
They document everything. I just wanted to say
Yeah.
that. Yeah, man. So the next generation knows.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Come here, my son. I'll show you.
Go ahead. Was that everything?
Oh no, verse 2. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be thereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart. Which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air.
Yeah, but that's not correct, because your spirit goes on, it goes to the Most High, which gave it, and then it comes back refreshed. You know, so that's why what the brother said, they ponder within themselves, but not aright. It's not correct. You know, so these ungodly men, what do? If you read down the chapter, they take a closer look at the godly men. So hey, what is he gonna say? You know, how does the Most High work? How does he function? You know, go ahead.
Now verse 4. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof.
Yeah, man. So that's what these people think, the ungodly. But the elites, they know, you know. Psalms.
Second Psalms, verse 14.
I think that was done right. From the wicked, which is thy sword,
Yeah, but that goes into their portion, and the children are for the leave the substance to
to
the
their
babes.
babes. Yeah,
Yeah, you want to read it?
yeah.
This is Psalms chapter 17, verse 14. From man which are thy hand, O Lord Yahweh, from men of the world which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes.
Yeah, like what we are going into, they keep it within their bloodline. You know, they leave these things, their substance, to their babes. You know, you might think that, for example, the king, he married a foreigner, that he married a woman from another nation. But if you go down the line, that you see that it's still royal bloodline. It's the royal Dutch bloodline. You know, because she's a far niece, cousin of him. You know, so they know they keep the records, and then it might look like they're different families, different nations, but then still they marry into their own, man. So they leave the substance within the family, within their nation, their bloodline.
Also, there was this kid, and I believe he was from America, a young child, and he was able to connect all the dots between these presidents, man. And all these presidents are related, man. Even Barack Obama was related
Yeah.
to I believe, Bush, and I don't know if it was Trump as well, but they was related, man.
Yeah.
You know.
George W. Bush is also grandson of Alexander Crowley or something.
Yeah, those type of rumors are out there. Yeah, I don't know. Can't confirm that, but
Like Zelensky, I also read like the Zelensky that he's also you know, from their bloodline. You know, that he's just a puppet. Just like how you have, but yeah, that's something else. Focap Malone, he's one of them white hats, you know, just sent to bring confusion, you know. So they keep the records, and it looks like they're different people, like it's a different president, or it comes from another angle, but it's still the same people that are running the show, man.
yeah, because what they actually do is they have a thesis and an antithesis. So they have two opposites, but they don't want the first one and they don't want the second one. So what they do is they create a friction between those parties to eventually create something else that they do want. So that's the same thing with that New World Order, put the the Israelites against the rest of the nations, or put the so-called white people against the Mexicans and things like that, you know, to create friction, and then they want to create order out of chaos, man.
Yeah,
So they have two scenarios, and they both control both sides.
yeah,
Same with the brother said with the two horns, with the lamb. You know, that was basically spake. What was it?
it spake as a lamb. No, it was a lamb, but spake as a dragon.
Yeah, spake as a dragon, which that goes into the docile nature of these politicians, docile. But meanwhile, they come with these harsh laws, but they're the same entity, man. Being controlled by both sides, thinking you got options, things to choose from. Meanwhile, nah, man. They offer you what you can choose. You don't have your own free will.
Exactly. They analyze the situation when there's chaos. They're like, oh, okay, these people, they go in the route that we designed for them, but then there's something happening over there that we have to take control of that, you know. So they come with a controlled opposition, you know. So they put a puppet there. They give them a lot of truth, because these people they're all in the lies. They're all you know, under their spell. But these people, they're kind of woke, you know. So they need a leader. So we're gonna give them a leader. You know, for example, like this FVD here in Holland, you have this political party.
Forum for Democratie.
Yeah. In the beginning, I liked it. Like, hey, he's the only one that's going against Rutte, going against everything. But then after a while, you see with the Black Pete, and he's all, I'm like, nah, man, this man, he's also a controlled puppet, you know?
Yeah.
Because they know the way the world's been steered into last 15 years. People are kind of woke. That's where we got the whole wokeism from. People
Yeah.
know that, hey, shit is wrong. They don't know this, but they know some things
Something's up, yeah.
about the unjust in the world. So these elites, they had to use those things just to let the people think like, yo, look, there's still an option here.
Yeah.
And they
Use
did
it to
that
their
shit.
benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they come with a lot of truth, you know. So the people that think that they're woke, they flock to that. Like, hey, I didn't know this, you know. They come with the base, not basis, the fundamental knowledge of certain things, but then they add secrets that they didn't know. Like, hey, this guy, he's deep, you know.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, he's being fed from these elites, you know.
They call such people gatekeepers.
Yeah.
They only allow you to know a certain amount of information, but they also have. But they also basically put lies and deceit in there, man.
Yeah.
You know, things that might be incorrect. Back in the days before the truth, you know, I'm just gonna say it. I was looking into flat Earth because back then, you know, you're trying to look for things, but they also spoke about certain things concerning Illuminati and things like that, which that was the truth.
Yeah.
Then they put the lie in there to keep it interesting, because the scripture says that a strange woman is sweet. Ik weet wat naka. Daar. Ik weet niet. Ik denk het.
Hey, shalom.
Shalom, man.
Yahweh Shem.
Black Friday, ik denk
I
maar.
don't know.
So, where was I?
Yeah, the flat earth, and they
Yeah.
take certain truths.
And they also mix the lie in there, man, because that strange woman is sweet. You'd be like, hey, that's interesting, man. It keeps you interested, and you know. But then, once the Most High, you know, as it says that we not be too tossed to and fro no more, because we receive the truth and we got a strong foundation. They'd be like, nah, man, that ain't it, that ain't it, that ain't it. I was deceived then, but that was being taken out of it, and now you got the truth, man.
Yeah.
It's like that documentary called Side Guys.
Zeitgeist.
They give a lot of truth, but they how do you say it? When you say something is not in existence, they
Fictional.
they deny the existence of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that documentary that goes into the comparison between all these other nations and their mythology and philosophy, and compare it to
It goes into September 11, the bankers, elite bankers, how their schemes work. Basically, was one of the first like early YouTube documentaries.
I think I saw it, but I forgot about it. Side guys, I heard of it. I think
I cried the first time I saw it, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
hit
Like,
you.
what?
we are controlled. We're puppets.
What? Tears roll down my eye. Like, man, we're gonna kill these motherfuckers.
Yeah. See? That's that roller coaster that you go in. You know, you go. You feel that you're being controlled. You see that, for example, the Illuminati, they give people like Jay-Z, Beyonce, you know, they give them the stage, the podium, and that they get money, you know. But after a while, you're like, hey, if this exists, then also light and the Most High exists, because the Satanism is not being hid anymore. You know, you can just see the Church of Satan. They get statues, they get a church. You know, people openly worship him. So these are the end times, man. It's the end of the world, you know. And if you go into that word "world," is the end of the age, which it's Esau's rulership. It's Esau's ruling age that is gonna come to an end. Yeah, the Psalms, and you had the Psalms 83.
Psalm 17 was done.
Yeah, it was glad down.
I do have Psalm 64, the secret cause of the wicked, because you mentioned Illuminati.
Yeah.
This is Psalms chapter 64 and verse 1. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Yeah, so the secret councils that they have are in the Bohemian Grove, you know. They go to they have houses where you think that are nobody lives at,
Hello,
you know.
hello.
Yeah. So these are the secret councils that they keep against the people of the Most High. Ultimately, you know, they think about ways to snare the people up, to give them bread and circus, and to how do you call it? What we just said, distract the people, you know, so that they can forward their agenda. Divide and conquer. And ultimately, they're gonna bring everybody together under that banner of the New World Order. You see?
Verse, what we done?
That was it. Give me the Psalms 83 from Michelle.
You want me to read from the start again?
Yeah. So now we know that the Most High, He is the one that caused us to lose our heritage. He put up the kings who are the ruling kings right now, who are the ones that keep these secret councils, you know, who are the wicked, you know, which is Esau, and also a couple of these other nations, you know, they're in on it. For example, when we come here, when we go to a different country, we can't just start up a business. But these Chinese, they can, because Esau and Moab, which the Chinese man is called the Moabite, those two, you know, the Moabite, he looks up to Esau. You know, he copies everything from Esau. If you look at his cities, this is just a copy of New York. It's a copy of America.
Skyscrapers, everything.
Yeah. So that's what the brother is going to read. You have Esau, he's the wicked, but the other nations, they also joined onto him.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom.
See, and the verse starts off with Esau, with Edom. You know, he's the one that is in rulership right now. He's the class that is going to be taken down. You know.
Yeah.
Esau.
The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes.
The Ishmaelites also had a hand in this transatlantic slave trade, you know. They had a big hand in it. You see? They would take our people, put them upon ships, and also the ones that were left, you know, they scattered them in Europe also, because you had the transatlantic slave trade to ship our people to North America, Middle America, and South America, but you also had the ones that they kept here as slaves, you know.
And also had the Arab slave trade.
Yeah.
It's also there.
Gone.
The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon.
Yeah, Ammon, which are these Japanese people.
And the Philistines and Amalek.
Amalek, which is the head tribe of Esau. You know, Esau also has tribes, just like how you have Israel, the Israelites, but within Israel you have 12 tribes, and Amalek is one of those tribes.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
The Philistines, which is these Africans, you know, but not the modern day, how do you call it, Philistines, no? Palestinians. No, they just took their nationality and ran with it. You know, these so-called Palestinians. The Philistines are Cushites. They come from Ham. These are these.
ISCC guys onderweg.
So they robbed the Philistines, the Africans, from their nationality, and they are fighting for that land, Israel, right now. You want to say something?
Yeah, recently I had a conversation with a guy from the Middle East, and if I remember it correctly, he mentioned that, you know, only around the year 600, 700, 800, that's when these people came into the land. So I asked him, like, yeah, but who were there before you? You know, who were there before those people that called themselves Palestinians? And he really couldn't answer, man. But the scriptures explain us that prior to us coming into the land, it was the Canaanites, but that region, you know, was given as a heritage unto Shem. To be more specific, it was given unto the Israelites, man. So could Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You see, it belongs unto us, not unto the heathen nations.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Ashur also is joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot, Salah.
Yeah. So all these nations, they took crafty counsel against us. You know, that's how our heritage got lost. You know, ultimately it's the Most High caused these men to put it in their minds to destroy us. You know, so that we lose our heritage, so that we don't call upon the names Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But now, you know, the truth, it came back, you know, starting with Abba Bivens, as it says in Malachi 3. You know, he brought the truth back in the 1970s. You see? So let's go back to, oh yeah,
I had a beautiful precept, man, because he was going into how, you know, it's the Most High that, you know, basically sets up and puts down and caused us to go into slavery. But these nations, they're gonna know that too, man. This is Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went to captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. That's beautiful, man. So this scripture shows you that these heathens eventually gonna know and understand that it was by the hand of the Heavenly Father that we was put low. Not because of their strength or because of their gods. No, man. It was us. You know, we forsook the Heavenly Father, and therefore we was put into slavery underneath our enemies, who were weaker than us, both mentally and physically, man. Yep. You know, they're nothing. It's just because of the Heavenly Father.
Yeah. Can you give me Baruch 4 and 6. Sakar.
You asked me for the total also. Baruch?
Yeah. Baruch 4 and 6. Because, you know, like the brother's going into, you know, it's us. We went off first. So the Most High, he turned his back. That's what you can read also in the scriptures. The Most High, he turned his back onto us. You know, he doesn't want to deal with us anymore. So that's why we had need of Yahweh Shai. You see? And all of this was already planned. All of this was already prophesied, and also in the Old Testament. The Baruch?
Baruch chapter 4 verse 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Heavenly Father to wrath.
You see, so the Most High did this to us not to be completely wiped out and completely destroyed. No, the Most High, he chastened us. The Most High, he's like, okay, so you want to go and after these heathens, their gods, right? Which are no gods. So you want to go after them? Okay, I'm going to sell you to them. Here, go marry these other nations, their women, you know. Go make children with them, you know. Do what you want. But not for your destruction. The Most High didn't do that for your destruction, but because we moved him to wrath, you know. The Most High was mad because of the going after other gods. You know, we forsook the one true fountain of living water, as it says in Jeremiah 2. You know, we knew that we had the power. We knew that we are the children of the Most High. But still, you want to go after Jan, Kees, Piet, Klaas, their gods. You know, you want that money quick. You want certain things quick. Then the Most High, he was moved to wrath. He was moved to anger.
Got a precept on it?
I think it. Yeah. Read it.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's scrip, but Israel do not know. My people do not consider.
Yeah, man. So our people, ox is a stupid animal, you know, but still he knows who his owner is. But our people, you know, the nation of Israel, they don't regard the Heavenly Father, you know. They go after other deities which are no real gods, which are no real powers, you know. No, oh, I thought it was cookies or something. No. Think you come with food.
It'll be all about the cookies stuff.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I'll go over there.
Yeah, so
You go there?
Oh yeah. You're supposed to be over there.
He told you?
Really, finish.
yeah, that was done. The Baruch 4 and 6.
Keep him company.
Okay, come.
I stay there? Next to them?
Je kan hier gewoon staan, man. Als je...
Yeah?
Yeah, please. Yes.
Baruch.
Naast jou?
Tussenkamer, slaat je.
Naast jou?
Tussenkamer.
Waar jij wilt staan, man. Waar jij wilt staan.
Tussenkamer, dan moet je zien dan.
Oh ja.
Ik weet niet hoe dat moet. Man.
Oké, draai.
You? Is jouw phone?
Yes, my phone.
Wat is dat dan?
Hey, alright, here now.
Oh yeah.
Let me
You
see
don't
if I can
understand
turn
that?
it.
No.
I think it's this front. Yep. Oh no. Wait a second. Het moet eigenlijk zo.
Zat in die krant of zo?
Yeah, like that.
En nu zie je het niet.
And then now you gotta turn it. Naka. How do you turn it? It needs to be turned.
Hold the phone.
Salaka. No, this whole thing. Oh, like that. Yeah.
Oh, you want it like that?
Yeah. Go. Yeah, that's good. 4 and 6. Yeah.
It's the book of Baruch chapter 4 verse 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Heavenly Father to wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies.
Shalom. How about Shalom?
Read it again.
Yeah, 7.
Verse 7. For you provoked him For you provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, not to the Heavenly Father.
You see? So that's the most important point. This is the only reason that's been given in this chapter. You know, so this is the most important thing that we went off on. We went to worship devils, sacrifice unto devil, burn incense unto devils, you know, unto these other nations, their gods. So that's why the Most High is mad. That's why the Most High is angry. Of course, we have other things also, but this is the main point, man. Actually, every single time we went off and went into other gods. Can you give me Jeremiah? What do you have there?
After Hosea 1, but he was talking about how the Most High turned his back to that when he did Yahushua. So I have that on deck if you want to go into that. If not, go in Jeremiah what? 2?
Jeremiah 2, and the broken sister. And then you read the last part of the Baruch. Yeah. Yeah, the Gedrog. Go.
Luke chapter 4, verse 8. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and you have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
Yeah, man. So we have forgotten the everlasting power, which is the Most High, Yahweh. And we have grieved the land that nourished us, which is the land of Israel. You know, like the brother was going into, it was first the land of Canaan, but the Most High gave it unto us, and we had to also keep the ways of that land. But since we didn't, we got kicked out of that land also. You see?
Can you say something?
Go.
Because go to Ezekiel, the 7th chapter. You know, it talks about how the land will become desolate. And the reason that it became desolate because we, you know, pursued the law, statutes, commandments of the Heavenly Father, man. You know, because if we would do that which was required of us, the land would be very fruitful and pleasant unto us. You know.
Yeah.
But the opposite happened of that.
That's why the land is called the land of milk and honey. You know, it would be prosperous unto us, but we didn't keep the ways of the land. You know.
I have that which I quoted. If you want that.
Yes. Good.
This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 20. As for the beauty of his ornament, he set it in majesty.
Yeah, the ornament, which is the land of Israel. Yeah.
But they made the images of their abominations and of their detestable things therein. Therefore have I set it far from them.
Yeah, so that's why we sacrifice unto devils, we burn incense to their gods. So that's why the Most High, He took us out of that land. You see?
And I will give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it.
So who is living in the land of Israel right now? These Amalekites, you know?
Also
The Palestinians.
Arabs as well.
The Arabs. So all these strangers, all these other nations who actually it's not their land, they are inhabiting it right now. They're not called Israelites because the word "ite" goes into a people. They're called Israeli because they're inhabiting that land. That's not their land.
Actually, para that through the Spirit they call themselves just inhabitants instead of the people. It's the para.
Yeah. What was it? Maccabees. Second Maccabees.
Verse 22, my face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, for the robber shall enter into it and defile it. You know, this also is talking about the land.
6 and 22. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I had a precept in book of Luke, if you wanted that.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 22. That in so doing, he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor.
Oh shit. Second Maccabees or first Maccabees? That the place was for the people's sake. I thought it was first.
Listen.
Second Maccabees 6 and 22? What did I say?
He says 6 and 22. Second Maccabees 6 and 22. That in so doing, you might be delivered from death. To what I just read. The 6 and 22. It's about albeit certain of them that will be
First
searched for, unto whom got ungodly men of Israel joined themselves.
This is the second Maccabees 5 and 19.
5 and 19. Down to order.
Stay on the board.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 5, verse 19. Nevertheless, the Heavenly Father did not choose the people for the place's sake, but the place for the people's sake.
Yeah, man. So the place was chosen for the people's sake. You know, we were roaming and moving across the face of the earth, and we didn't really have a place yet to dwell. But the Most High, He sent us into that land, you know, to conquer it. You know, because the Most High, He gave us certain rules that we had to keep to stay in that land. You know, because these other nations, the Canaanites, they were driven out of that land because they were defiling it. You know. Give me a precept.
This is Hebrews chapter 11, starting at verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whither he went. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which has foundations, whose builder and maker is the Most High. So this goes into how the land of Israel, you know, was promised unto Abraham and his descendants, but they didn't receive that promise yet. You know, so they were actually sojourners, which are just travelers in a land that was given unto them already, but they never settled down.
Yeah, yeah.
That's gonna come for us, man. In the kingdom, we're gonna receive those things that were given first unto Abraham and Isaac and Jacob.
Yeah, man. That also made me think about how Abraham, he almost slew his son on that spot. Also, Melchizedek, he was a king of Salem. You know, so all these things, there's a heavy vibration upon that place. You know, so we were constantly being attracted to that place, but the time to enter that place and to conquer it wasn't yet. You see, that's when Joshua and Caleb, they were the only ones to enter into that land, which is the land of Israel. You see, because the other people that came out of Egypt, even Moses didn't see the land of Israel. You know, because they caused Moses also to sin with his lips, and the rest of the people, they were murmuring, and they were not the ones that had to enter into that land. And Joshua and Caleb, they represent the nation of Israel, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. The Joshua was, I believe, Ephraim, and Caleb, which if you go into that word Caleb, it goes into dog, you know, which goes back to loyalty. You know, Caleb was loyal unto the Most High. So those two were the only ones that were deemed worthy to enter into that land of Canaan. You know what we're speaking about right now.
I got a quick precept as well. This is concerning what you spoke about concerning Joshua and Caleb. It says Hebrews 4 and verse 8. For if Joshua, here it says Jesus, but we understand that through the translation it goes back to Joshua, because Joshua's name, you know, also in the Hebrew was Yahushua. But it says, for if Joshua had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day? There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of the Most High, for he that is entered into his rest, he hath also ceased from his own work, as the Most High did from his. So it was never the purpose of the Heavenly Father to establish the rest that was promised unto us, you know, by the hands of Joshua and Caleb. You know, that would come way later. You know. The rest is something that we desire, that we greatly desire, man. You know, we're getting sick and tired of this place.
Yeah, we're getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. So yeah, man, that's all pertaining to that land that nourished us. You know, Leviticus is speaking about how that land, you know, it has a strong vibration on it, and if you don't keep the ways of the land, then it's going to spew you out. And that's what happened to us if you read Baruch 4 and 6.
Leviticus chapter 26 verse 43. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lie desolate without them, and they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
Or actually start at 1 verse.
Okay.
1, Leviticus 16 and 1. When you go into take the land.
It's the book of Leviticus chapter 16 verse 1. And the Heavenly Father spake unto Moses.
No. Let me see. Salakia. 18.
18.
Yeah, 18.
18 and 1.
Yeah.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 18 verse 1. And the Heavenly Father spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, your power.
God. Actually, it's Yahweh, because in that time you didn't have Yahweh Shai. Yeah. No, that's good. God.
Leviticus chapter 18 verse 1. And the Heavenly Father spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Heavenly Father, your power. After the doings of the land of Egypt, where ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, where did I bring you, shall you not do. Neither shall you walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments, and keep mine ordinances, to walk therein. I am the Heavenly Father, your power.
Yeah, man. So this is what the Most High told us not to do. Don't go after the ways of these Canaanites. Don't go after the ways of Egypt, where I took you out of. But still, you know, our people, they were saved with the strong hand of the Most High, but still they turned back to these hedonistic ways. Jump to start at 22 and we read until 28.
Verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination.
Yeah, we all know that. You know, you're not supposed to lay with a man, but these Canaanites, all these Canaanite gods also, they go back to homosexual gods, man. They do homosexual acts. So that's their gods, that's their ways. Those are the deities and powers that they worship, you know, which are no actual powers. They just give you a small portion, you know, if you want fertility, if you want quick money, certain things they give you, but you have to worship the Father of spirits.
No.
Go ahead.
Verse 23. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion.
Yeah, man, but these people, that's what they do. You know, the Canaanites did that. You also have here in Holland that they used to be one of the first ones to film bestialities. You know, they would come here to make those type of movies. You know, so you see that their spirit is not right. That's not according to the Most High. The Most High finds that a filthy act, because if you go into that word abomination, it's a filthy act in the sight of the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 24. Defile not yourselves in any of these things, for in all these nations are defiled. For in all these the nations are defiled, which are cast out before you.
You see, Esau does it. These other nations also do it. Or was it Ishmael? They fuck
Bachabati.
Yeah.
Or Bachabati children. Men, small boys.
No, not that. They also lose their virginity to a beast. You know, so the Most High doesn't lie, man. All these nations, they are defiled with these things, with these filthy acts, with bestiality, with homosexualism, and all these type of things. But you are set apart. You shouldn't be like them, the Israelites.
I had also in his, one of his videos.
Yeah, speak up.
The second in command of the camp had also a video. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's years ago, but it had art from the island of Pompeii, and you saw the Javites that were living back then in Rome and in Europe, southern Europe. They were doing goats. So they had an art form which was made from stone. So they used like I don't know, it's a statue basically. Mm-hmm. And he had, you know, he was laying down with a goat, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So these nations, they're defiled with these things. Go ahead.
Defile not yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which are cast out before you. And the land is defiled, therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomited out her inhabitants.
You see, so the inhabitants are defiled, which defiles the land, and then even the land spews them out. The Most High kicks them out of that land, you know, for doing all these filthy things. Go ahead.
Verse 26, ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourned among you.
Yeah, so you nor your slave or how you call it, concubine, or the people that travel with you, they're not to do these things. Otherwise, they are also going to defile you. If you set yourself apart, you sanctify yourself, but the people in your house, like a concubine or a stranger that does the work for you, he defiles himself with these things, it's also going to cause you to be defiled. So the Most High, he said, neither you nor the stranger that sojourneth with you should do these things.
Say something?
Yeah.
Because a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. If you have, there always comes this example that's being brought up by the brothers that if you have, basically four sluts or four hosts, and then this so-called virtuous type of virgin girl comes, but she hangs out with these basically with these skanky ass chicks. After a while, she's gonna be defiled by their ways because she's surrounded by them. And even in the world, they say, show me your 5 friends and I'll show you who you are. You know why? Because you take on those traits, man. I myself, I notice that I take on traits of the brothers, man. And then sometimes I catch myself like, right now I'm like him, I act like him, I have this from this brother. You become literally one body, man. Like one, I say that, well-oiled motor. The artisan in the spirit, man. So if someone in your surroundings is doing wickedness, they're supposed to be kicked out, man, so that they cannot influence those that are surrounding you. That's why even the scripture says, if you see someone that's doing wickedness, they should be brought forth, put to death as an example, so that others may fear as well, that they won't do the same filthy acts that they be doing, man. Whether it's worshiping or trying to worship other gods, or doing things that are not right, but they should be set forth as an example, so that other people know I'm not supposed to do that.
Yeah, that's true. Just like how the garment that was stolen, the Babylonish garment with Akan, he was killed and his whole family. That's why you have the shrine, the stones were put in the place that he was stoned at. So the Most High, if something happens to defile the camp, for example, we used to beat all these nations to smithereens. But if one day we would lose 1 person or 10 people, then we would look like, hey, who's doing wickedness? Because otherwise the Most High would be with us. You see?
Also, what you said, that basically some sort of monument was being made, right?
Yeah.
But what is a monument used for? To bring to remembrance, right?
Yeah.
So it's to bring back to remembrance what happens if you do something that you was being told not to do. So that's it, man. It all links together, man.
Go ahead, in the Leviticus.
Verse 27, for all these abominations have the man of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. That the land spew not you out also when you defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, that was it. So that's why the land in Baruch 4 and 6, we got kicked out of that land, the land which nourished us, which brought us, that fed us, actually. So if we can go back to Baruch 4.
Want me to read from 7? 6,
no.
6.
8, and then read on down.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 8. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when he saw the wrath of the Heavenly Father coming upon you, for when she saw the wrath of the Heavenly Father coming upon you, she said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, The Heavenly Father had brought upon me a great mourning, for I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them.
Yeah, man. So the she we just spoke about here is the land. So it refers to the land, how the land saw that we were taken captive. You know, just like in the time of 70 AD. You know, we were taken by siege by the Romans, and then we were taken in captivity. We were kicked out of that land, man. You have it?
Of course.
Go ahead.
This is Luke chapter 21, starting at verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Yeah, man. So this is Yahushua speaking. It's a prophecy before it happened. You know, because Yahushua, he lived until he was 32, 33. And then he prophesied about this siege that would come in 30 years after him.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
Which the mountains represent Africa, the land of Africa, the land of Ham.
And let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
God, so these are the days of vengeance, which is the vengeance that Esau was looking for towards the Israelites. You know, because Esau, he said in his heart that the days of mourning are at hand, and he's gonna slay his brother Jacob.
Have that if you want that.
No, it's just you know, he has that perpetual hatred within himself, so he always goes after the Israelites. He wants to destroy them. You see?
Verse 23. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people.
Gone. So Jerusalem was sieged, and yeah, I don't know how many years it took, but bit by bit.
About 7 years from about 86 AD up until 75, which, you know, it all ended with the siege at Masada, which that was the last battle that took place, you know, for us to basically fall completely as a nation back then.
Yep.
Spoke about the Jewish wars. There's multiple conflicts. Jewish wars.
Verse 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall led away captive, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Can you speak on that?
So this is what actually happened when these Romans came and sacked Jerusalem. You know, a lot of our people were slaughtered. You know, some fled away, others were taken captive. And the people that you see in the land right now, you know, the Arabs, you know, the Amalekites, you know, even you got Esau here and there. You know, these people, you know, had been given the land until their time is up, until their time is finished, pursuing to also, what is it, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, man? Until the time of Esau is gone, that we're going to be set up back again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. See?
Luke 21.
Luke 21, and yeah, I started at 20, but the trodden down the Gentiles is verse 24.
With the captivity?
Yeah,
24.
24.
Beautiful, man.
So that goes also hand in hand with Daniel, the 9th chapter, the last couple of verses.
Done. So go back to the root. Ezekiel 7 and 20.
I read it.
Oh, that's
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
no problem. Isaiah 49 and 21. Good.
Luke chapter 4 verse 14. Let them that dwell about Zion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters.
Verse 10.
Baruch chapter 4 verse 10. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but send them away with weeping and mourning. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow, and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the Heavenly Father, from the law of the Heavenly Father.
Yeah, man. So the land even is mourning and weeping because we left. You know, because if you look at the land right now, it's desolate. You know, it looks like a desolate desert, but it's it's called the land of milk and honey. So when the people are gonna be right, the people are gonna follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and be set in that land again, then the land is gonna flourish. Then the land is gonna be really the land of milk and honey. You see, but now we go off. We internally we look just like how Israel looks right now. You know, all desolate. We are destroyed from the inside. Our people are destroyed. You see, but when we are made perfect, then the land is gonna be perfect and it's gonna nourish us and be beautified again.
I got a couple of pictures. Don't know if y'all can see it, but it just gives a small glimpse of what the land looks like right now. Got a couple of pictures here, just to give y'all an idea. Like, this is what it's now.
Brings me to Malachi chapter 4, verse 6. And they shall call them the poor of wickedness, because everywhere they are. Wickedness increases.
Ja, dit van deze chapter nog. Go ahead. Eigenlijk gaan we doorlezen tot 37.
Okay.
Ja.
Verse 11, verse 12. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of their heavenly Father. Verse 13. They know not his statutes, nor walked in the ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. Let them that dwell about Zion come, and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting had brought upon them.
Yeah, you see, so this also goes hand in hand with what you were speaking about, that the Most High caused us to lose our heritage. The Most High brought these things upon us. He uses men, but still it's the Most High who did that. Yeah.
I looked up how much does Israel basically import, because if the land is flowing with milk and honey, meaning it's very prosperous and fertile, it means that you're able to produce produce for yourself, right? But here comes, what is Israel's biggest import? Well, it's like, does Israel, does Israel rely on imports? That's the point. It says, Israel is highly dependent on agricultural and food imports. Due to its limited arable land and water resources, the country's dependence will only increase.
Yeah.
So that shows you that the land as it used to be is not the same, as right now. Because if the land was able to nourish us, the land itself, but right now the people that are in the land rely on the import of other nations. It means it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And they don't even got oil over there also, that nation right now. It's not known for oil.
What is Israel's biggest import? Israel's main imports are machinery and equipment, 28% of total imports, diamonds, oil, and other mineral fuels, which is about 9%, which that's quite a lot.
Yeah. Desolate. But yeah, that's what the Most High brought upon us and the land. Go ahead.
First, 14, huh?
15.
Verse 15, for he had brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man, nor pity child.
Yeah, and who's that strange nation? That's Esau. Just like it says in Deuteronomy 28, that nation is going to come swift as an eagle. You see? So it's all prophecy. It's all the Most High's will. Go ahead.
These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone desolate without daughters. But what can I help you? For he that brought this place upon you, will deliver you from the hands of your enemies.
Yeah, man. The Isaiah 49. Because 21. Because now we are taken out of that land. The Most High caused us to be kicked out of that land and be spread all over the four corners of the earth. But the same is also gonna.
Good. God bless you.
Yeah.
Happy Sabbath.
Long time no see, brother.
You stand good, eh? Because of the work of God also. Hello. God bless you, sir. Happy Sabbath.
Yeah, so can you read it again? The last
All right,
two
sir.
verses?
Have a beautiful
Yes, you too.
These have carried to verse 15, for he hath brought up
17 and 18.
verse 17. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of the enemies.
Yeah, so the person, or not the person, the God that brought these things upon us, he is the one that's also going to deliver us out of the same, out of these plagues, out of the hand of our enemies, you know. And then the land is going to say this, Isaiah 49.
This is Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 21. Then shalt thou say in thine heart, who hath begotten me these, seeing I have lost my children and am desolate, a captive and removing to and fro. And who hath brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. These were had they been.
Yeah, so the land was a widow, like we just read. The land was desolate, but when the Most High is going to help us, he's going to transform us, he's going to cause us to be in the chariots, he's going to gather us all, and then we're going to be set in the land of Israel. Then the land of Israel is going to be like, who brought me these? You know, I was desolate, I was a widow, I didn't have any children, but now the children are going to come back, you know, the children of the nation of Israel. You see? So that's how the land is going to behold us when we come back, Yaratazah, that we are of that number.
I think 34, 35. Which will be all power.
Waar ben je?
Don't say that's not the
2:35.
Yeah.
And you can everlasting covenant with them to be their power.
Yeah, and we set up in the land.
Oh yeah, that's a point. The last support. Now read it. Yeah.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 35. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them.
Yeah, man. You see, so we were driven out of that land, but the Most High is going to make a covenant with us, which the covenant, pursuing to Jeremiah 31 and 31, he's going to put the laws within our inward part. So we are not going to be able to go off. We are going to be all righteous. You know, we are going to live, breathe, think according to what the Most High wants. You know, we're going to live, breathe, think scriptures. It's perfection. We're going to be made perfect. You see, and then we're going to be set in the land, and the land is going to flourish. It's really going to be called the land of milk and honey. You see? So when you read Baruch 4, it explains how the land experiences these loss, the loss of the children of Israel, and how it sees the coming back of the children of Israel. So read on, verse 19.
Verse 19. Go your way, O my children. Go your way, for I am left desolate. I have put off the clothing of peace, and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days.
Yeah, so sackcloth, what the sackcloth represents mourning. So the land is mourning for us. Go ahead. Malachi 4.
Be of good cheer, O my children. Cry unto the heavenly Father, and he shall deliver you from the power and the hand of the enemies.
Yep. So yeah, if I hear this, if I read this, then the Most High said if we would all call on him, you know, in unison, that's when the Most High would turn away these curses. That's when the Most High would take away these curses, and we would be set upon high, you know, if that was possible. But, you know, through the whole storyline, what the Most High wanted, he wanted us to go through wickedness, to look for and seek for righteousness, to seek for the Most High. You see? Go ahead.
Verse 22. For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, and joy is come unto me from the Holy One. Because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Savior. Verse 23. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but the Heavenly Father will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever.
Yeah, man. So we are going to be set up in that country again. We are going to be set up in that land, the land of Israel. That's when the land is going to be joyous again. That's when the land is going to be happy to see us again. Go ahead.
For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but the Heavenly Father will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like as now, the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power.
Yeah, man. So just like how in the land of Egypt, you know, we were captive, and the Most High caused the Egyptians to see how marvelous and great He is. You know, that's how also for the second time, these nations, they're gonna see the greatness of the Most High. They're gonna see that we are the children of the Most High. That the nation of Israel, they are the children of the living power. You know.
That's your favorite scripture now, Jeremiah 16.
Yeah, read it again. Let me see if I can get more out of it. But keep it on deck.
Like as now, the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
Yeah, man. So that's beautiful, man. So now they look at us, you know, we're captives. They trample us, they stomp us, they keep us low. You know, like it says in Revelation 11, you know, they didn't want to bury our bodies. You know, they seen it, they know who we are, but they just keep us down. You know, so they see the captivity, but they're also going to see the strangeness of our salvation. You know, like the scriptures calls it, and that also goes back to the Malachi, Habakkuk 1, which we started off with. You know, so this whole. So now you have the whole blueprint, the whole understanding of why Habakkuk 1 and 5 speaks upon, you know, you're going to hear it, but you're not going to believe it. You see, so this is the Spirit. Dus daar kunnen we straks daar weer verder mee gaan. Give me the...
Malachi first?
Yeah, Malachi.
This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 3. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, said the Lord of hosts.
Yeah, man. So we are going to become a biological weapon. We are going to be a weapon unto these other nations. The Most High is going to change us to be a weapon. If you could give me that in Wisdom of Solomon 5. See, so we are going to tread upon their necks now, in that time. You know, now we're still waiting, you know, the judgment of the Most High. We have to watch how this whole movie plays out, you know, and have to cling on to faith, you know, faith that these words are going to come to fruition and that they're going to come to pass, you know. But ultimately, the victory is already written. The Israelites are going to win. The elect of the Most High is going to be the ruling government, you know, upon the earth. So we are hoping and praying for that these things speedily come. We pray for a few days, like the scripture says. You see? Matthew 24. The Baruch. The last verse on the neck, and then we go to Habakkuk.
Baruch chapter 4 verse 25. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Heavenly Father. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck.
Yeah, so that's the Malachi 4 and 3. You know, the Most High is going to change us. He's going to change our foul bodies, and we are going to tread upon our enemies, their necks. You see? You give me the Wisdom of Solomon.
5 and 17.
This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 17. He shall take him to his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies.
Can you read again, Bob Kishot? And a bit later.
This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 17. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor.
Yeah, so the Most High, he's jealous. He's a jealous power. Can you give me that in Nahum 1, verse 3, I believe? Yeah. So the Most High, he gives you emotions, right? You are sad, you're happy, jealous, angry, all these things. So you want to tell me the power, the God that created all these emotions, he doesn't have emotions himself? No, man, he has emotions also. That's why we went into captivity. That's why we were kicked out of the land. You know, because we were doing these things in front of his face. What's that scripture again? We read it last week, I believe. That we were provoking the Most High right in front of him. Yeah, I think it was in camp. Yeah. So we did all these things right in the presence of the Most High, you know, going after these other gods. So the Most High, he became mad and jealous.
Nahum chapter 1 verse 3. The Heavenly Father is slow to anger and great in power.
You see, so the Most High doesn't get angry real quick, but we did the most disrespectful thing to the Most High that, you know, he's like, okay, now it's enough. Now I'm gonna bring the wrath upon you. Go ahead.
And will not at all acquit the wicked. The Heavenly Father had his way in the whirlwind and in the storm and in the clouds are the dust of his feet.
Was it that? No, it was verse 1, I believe.
The Lord is jealous and the Lord revenges.
Yeah, that was it.
I go a little bit up. The book of Nahum chapter 1 verse 2. The Heavenly Father is jealous and the Heavenly Father revenged. The Heavenly Father revenged and is furious. The Heavenly Father will take vengeance on his adversaries and reserve wrath for his enemies.
Yeah, man. So the Most High is a jealous power, and he reserves wrath for his enemies. You know, the enemies. You're like, the Most High is all powerful, but who are his enemies then? You know, how come the Most High has enemies here upon earth? James 4. James 4 and 4. Because, yeah. Ja, wat is glad hier, man. Toen ik ook hier zo liep. Like a slippery slope. But yeah, man, the Most High, he is jealous and he brings wrath upon his enemies. Who are the enemies? The ones that are contrary unto him, the ones that are ungodly, the ones that don't. Yeah, these other nations for sure, because they haven't been given the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, they can do whatever they want, eat whatever they want. But he has that pure hatred when our people do it. That's when the Most High really gets mad.
This is James 4 and 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High?
Yeah, you see, so when you are a friend of the world, when you also see it in television programs, you know. If you want to make it on television, you have to be in sync and in tune and have to like all the things that are going on in the world, like these LMNOP people. You can't have an opinion, you know. You have to be friends with the world. You have to be friends with everybody if you want to make it in this world. If you want to make it on television, if you want to become a celebrity, you know, you have to be not strict with your opinion. You have to be you have to be open. You have to go along with what's happening at the time, you know. Like what what's it, Charles Barkley and this other Shaq, they're doing. You know, they're ridiculing Kyrie Irving, you know, because you see Shaq is a Freemason, you know, with his rings and stuff like that. He's and also LeBron James, they all ridicule him. They're like, no man, you can't say these things about these people. So these athletes, these I want to say princes, but these athletes, they don't really give their opinion. They don't voice their opinions. Otherwise, they're going to lose their money. So they have to be friends with the world, you see, if they want to keep their riches and blessings from Satan.
Yeah, all Jews think.
Yeah.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High.
Yeah, so if you're a friend of the world, you're an enemy of the Most High. So those are the enemies of the Most High, as we just read in Nahum 1 and 2.
Psalms the 83rd, which you read.
Yeah.
By the enemies.
Yeah. Can you go back to the Wisdom of Solomon 5?
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 17. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies.
Yeah, so who's the creature? The creature is man. He's going to take the man, the elect man, the man that cleansed himself, that kept the ways of the Most High, that believes in his son, Yahushua. He's going to take him and transform him and make him a creature of
his enemies. No, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies.
So we are going to be a weapon. We are going to be a bio weapon You see?
The precept.
Esau's gonna come with how do you call these suits? These exoskeleton suits and stuff like that. He's gonna come with his technology, but the things that he's gonna come with, the Most High, he has an answer for everything. You know, like the scripture says, no weapon formed against thee shall prosper.
This is Genesis chapter 1 and verse 20. And the powers said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that had life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. So we actually was created not on the 6th day, but on the 5th day. And that moving creature, you know, is referring to, you know, certain animals, but also referring to man. So back up the point of the brother, you know, when it says that the creature was made, you know, for the revenge of his enemies, that's referring to the elect Israelite man.
Yeah, and also the scripture says, you now are a new creature in Yahushua.
Yeah.
So that's how you got to link these scriptures. Through Yahushua, you are a new creature. But we're going to ultimately be changed when Yahushua comes, and we're going to be changed in a blink of an eye. Yeah, let's go to Habakkuk.
You don't want the precepts on the...
No.
No?
Yeah, Baruch was close. Let's go to Habakkuk.
This is Habakkuk 1 and 5. Behold ye among the heathen and regard and wonder marvelously. For I will work a work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told you.
So now, actually, through the Spirit, we already explained the whole work that is going to happen. You know, we're going to tread upon our enemies. We're going to receive salvation through these chariots. We're going to be put upon in our land. You know, all these things, that's going to happen because the Most High, He gave that word, the secrets, unto the prophets to give to the nation of Israel and also to these other nations that they know what's awaiting them. Okay, give me that in Amos 3 and 7. Tobit 3 and I believe, no, 13. 13 and 2.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 13, verse 2. For he had done scorch and had mercy.
3.
Book of Tobit, chapter 30, verse 3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he has scattered us among them.
You see, so that's why we got to confess Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in front of the Gentiles. Why? Because we are spread across the four corners of the earth. We are spread in the
Yeah, my phone.
I'm gonna give you that on 7:30.
Oh.
Gone. So confess him among the Gentiles because we are spread across the four corners of the earth. We are amongst the Gentiles. We have brothers and sisters that are looking like these heathen nations. You see? So they also have to hear the word. So that's why we got to confess it among the nations amongst the Gentiles, because we are spread amongst the Gentiles.
Got a precept in Acts.
Yep.
This is Acts chapter 13 and verse 38. Be it known unto you, therefore, men and brethren, that through this man is preached unto you the forgiveness of sins. And by him all that believe are justified from all things from which ye could not be justified by the law of Moses.
Yeah. So the law of Moses, what is that? That's the law. You know, those are the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible. You know, we can't be redeemed back to the Most High by those laws, which, you know, the laws which we break, as it says in Jeremiah 31, that, you know, that was the first covenant, but we kept breaking that law. We kept breaking. One of the basic laws, laws was not to go after other gods, but still, we continually break it. You see? So the Most High had to remind us. What did he remind us? For example, to keep the Sabbath. Also, that's also a basic law. Keep the Sabbath, keep it holy. Remember the Sabbath, keep it holy, because we would constantly go off. Yeah, the 10 Commandments is the 10 Commandments, but actually there are 613 laws. You know, so the Most High, we couldn't be redeemed back by the law of Moses. So we have to have Yahushai. We have to have faith in Yahushai. You see? So what was it? The Acts 13? Yeah, so the Most High, he sent Yahushai first to the Hebrews, but since the Hebrews, you know, the ones that know that they are of the circumcision, they didn't want to accept him, then Yahushai went to the Gentiles, you know, and that's also according to the script, according to the prophecies. You know, the Gentiles would also have need of Yahushai.
Verse 40. Beware therefore, lest that come upon you, which is spoken of in the prophets. Behold, ye despisers, and wonder and perish, for I work a work in your days, a work which ye shall not in no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you.
Yeah, so that goes hand in hand what we're reading in Habakkuk. You know, it's being told to these Gentiles, they're like, now what? The UFOs, those are the chariots of the Most High. No, man, that's, what are you talking about? We the ones that are in captivity, the ones that are in the slums, that are in the ghettos, we are going to be put on high. Nah, man, what are you talking about? This man, this Edomite, so-called white man, he's in power, you know, so nobody can take him off his throne, just like in the time of Egypt, you know. The Pharaoh was in charge. Esau is the modern day Pharaoh, you know, so nobody thought that Egypt, the Egyptians or the Egyptian empire would be brought low or broken down. Same way they think about Esau. They're like, nah, man, this man, heaven and earth have to move for this man to be put out of rulership. But that's gonna happen. That's exactly what is gonna happen. The Most High is gonna send His Son, you know, and He is gonna come with a voice of an archangel, you know, for that to these people that pierced Him. You know, He remembered those people. He's gonna come and get 2/3 of our nation, you know, that also crucified Him, caused Him to be crucified. You know, so all these things, we are telling you these things, the Gentiles, because we were a Gentile. We also were in a Gentile state of mind. Because if you go to Ephesians, Colossians, and all these places that our people were in, they took on these gods of these people. They took on the ways of these people, and we now, for example, me, I came here to Holland, you know, of course for riches, for money, you know, to study and stuff like that. You know, everybody, just like how America is the land of for the American dream. Also Holland, if you're in the Caribbean or whatnot, you want to come to Holland to make money, to, you know, make a name for yourself, whatnot. So I was also in a Gentile state of mind. But then the Most High had a bigger plan, which was to, you know, bring me into the truth. You see? So you can make up your mind like, hey, I'm gonna do this and this and that, but the Most High is like, no. Okay, now I'm gonna take you out of the field, out of the world, and you're gonna work for me. You're gonna work for that penny. You know, you're gonna work for salvation. You're gonna work for your own salvation, actually. But the Most High, He picks you, and it's not you that picked the Most High. So He chooses you to bring forth the prophecies, you know, to speak these prophecies into existence. Just like how we read that you have the left-hand side, the wicked, the sword of the Most High, which does His bidding. You also have the right-hand side that does His bidding, you know, to bring these prophecies to fruition.
Get a precept on what you were saying?
Hold on. Give me the Amos 3 and 7. I think it was 7.
What the Most High secrets of the prophets?
Yeah. You see, so the Most High, he also has His men here upon earth. You know, what was it? Romans 11.
It's Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing, but He revealeth His secret unto His servants the prophets.
So the Most High also has His right hand here upon earth. You know, a representation of His right hand here upon earth. The ones that show the secrets and the mysteries of the Most High, like it says in 1 Corinthians 1 and 2. You know, the Most High, He shows the mysteries unto the faithful, unto the righteous, the ones that do seek His face. You see? So He uses men. You might have one idea in your mind to do something, but all of a sudden your spirit changes, your frame of mind changes, because He shows you the secrets. Just like what we are going into in the Illuminati. He opens your eyes like, hey, he also used one of the prophets like, hey, look what Israel does in the dark.
Ezekiel, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so that's how he also, he showed us like, hey, look at what these people, the nation of Israel, how you call it, the ones in Hollywood, in Hollywood, the ones in the entertainment industry, look at what they're doing. Is this what you want? You want the riches, right? Is this? And then you're like, no. Let me start seeking for something else because if darkness exists, then light also has to exist. That's balance. There has to be a balance. You didn't know that, but that's something that's seared in you. Like, hey, if you have darkness, darkness can't exist if light is not there.
If I remember correctly, you and I both, we was looking for something, and then we encountered that there's something very satanic going on upon the earth. Then there must be a God.
Yeah, Bible. Okay, Bible. Okay, what does the Bible say? Flat Earth. Oh yeah, the pillars and the same thing that the brother had. I had it also. I'm like, okay, I'm looking for the scriptures or the Bible. Yeah, because if Satanism is real, then the Bible has to be real also. So that's when Esau also catches you with the snares, with the flat earth and shit like that. And then you go into seven-day Adventist. I was crossing off these things. I'm like, okay, flat earth, no, that's not it. 7-day Adventist, go into that. I'm like, hey, a woman, she is I forgot, maybe you can look it up. 7-day Adventist is a woman that
Set it up?
Set it up, yeah. So I was going into that. I'm like 7-day Adventist, go in depth in that. I'm like, but she hates black people. She hates black people. I'm like, why does she hate black people? I'm like, huh?
That's suspicious.
Yeah, that's suspicious. What did we ever do to you to hate us? So that was a no-no, big no-no to X. Then you have the Mormons. They also hate black people. Then you have Jehovah's Wickedness. I'm like, nah, I'm not feeling them because they can't really pull good scriptures. The only thing that they do, they come, they speak about the 144,000 that are going to be saved, and the rest of the Bible, then they don't even give you the explanation. Okay, so now you come across the Israelites. Yeah, you come across IUIC. You come across yeah, Ellen G. White. So she created
Co-founder. Yeah.
She was the founder of the 7-day Adventist. And I believe her grave is a pyramid, something like that, her tombstone. And that's also with these Jehovah's Wickedness people. So I'm like, nah, that's not it. So the Most High is showing you signs and symbols, because that's how these Freemasons, they also work. They show the whole earth is being ruled by signs and symbols. So if I see a satanic thing on your symbol or on their tombstones and graves or where they make pictures, I'm like, no, that's not it. That's not the truth. So came across the Israelites. I'm like, okay. But then you're not really vibing with ISUPK or with IUIC or whatnot. Then you come across a Great Millstone, which they teach you the 100% truth just like it is. So that's how it basically went for me, man.
Can I say something? She was talking about all these signs and symbols, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot one. So like, yeah, the other side. What do you want to say?
No. Just.
It was the ones with New Age movement. I also came across that.
Yes, an eye.
Yeah, an eye, and they speaking about the Christ consciousness. There's a shifting in the era, and you are a God. You have Christ in you. I'm like, nah, that's not it. Also. What is the other one? Chakras. I was also looking into chakras, like, hey, these stones work, so this might be something. But then you also see that they go into the tree of life and also with the star of Rephaim. So you see, if you see these symbols, then that's a big big no-no, a big red flag, man. Sounds like it.
What I want to say was this: like these satanic people, these elites, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, they don't work in the dark. They put it in the light. but they put it subliminally, and you know their plans are all out there. But they have the mindset like, hey, we put it all out there. It's on the TV, it's on the movies, it's on the series, it's in books, it's everywhere. But if you are so stupid, you know, to still not be able to get it, then they'd be like, then you're a sheep, man. Then you need to be slaughtered. Then you deserve the things that we have planned for those that are not able to see what's going on. That's their mindset, you know. But they put it subliminally, and those with eyes and ears, those with eyes to see and ears to hear, it's obvious for them. But the masses that are blind, that don't see it, meanwhile it's available. They got the like, hey, they deserve to be slaughtered, man, as sheep.
Yeah.
That's their mentality, man.
Yeah, the more they push it and people fall for their traps, the more power they get. You know, the spirit that they worship is even more powerful and potent when they do it with their eyes wide open. They walk into these traps. You know.
I had a scripture that was for you earlier concerning when you came to Holland with your reasoning, but the Most High had a different plan.
Go.
This is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9. A man's heart devised his way, but the Lord Yahweh directed his steps.
God, exactly that, man. You're like, okay, I got a plan, I got everything jotted down. I'm like, okay, in 1 year I'm gonna do this. Next year after that, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna go to college, and what are the steps that I need to take to become this and that. Of course, it's good to have a plan. You should always have a plan, but the Most High directed your steps. You know, the Most High is in charge. He steers you where He wants you to be. You see, even the people that fall out of the truth, you know, they come into the truth, bring certain other peoples into the truth, and then they fall out. That's how the Most High planned it for them. You see? Okay, no bits.
Yeah, I have the room's 11. This is Romans chapter 11, and where you want me to start?
Yes, that didn't bow down to me.
And verse 3. And this is concerning, what is it, Elijah? And he said, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and dig down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. What saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
So they have killed the prophets. What that sparked into my mind was, like, you had a couple of weeks back, I believe, this cat that came to the elder Manatazak by his camp, you know, meat mugging and be like, okay, yeah, do something, you know, forgot his bra at home. So he was standing there, you know, provoking and you know, that's how our people are. Our people, they're hard-headed, stiff-necked. When you tell them this is the way, walk ye in it, they don't want to listen to it, you know, because basically that's the Most High giving you a hand, giving you a helping hand, like, okay, now you have the chance to come back so that you won't be destroyed. But they are so brainwashed, like what we're going into, by these elites, their music that causes them to think and become thugs. Like, you know, I gotta be mean, I gotta be, you know, all up in people's face, intimidating, stuff like that. You know, so he's gone, you know, he's part of the society, and he feels threatened by the prophets, you know, in the spirit. He's like, you know, he wants this empire to continue because he builds upon Esau, he builds upon this society. But we don't do that. We want the society to be blown to smithereens, man. We want the society to come to an end. Like the brother said, we're sick and tired, you know, of living this life. You know, this is not living. Yeah, so read again from the top, because when you said they killed the prophets, that's what I was thinking about. That, you know, they come in that spirit, the 2/3.
This is Romans chapter 11 and verse 3. Lord, they have killed thy prophets and dig down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
Yeah, so just like what we're going into, you have the left-hand side that are doing the will of the Most High. Also, you have the right-hand side that is doing the will of the Most High. You have the prophets. You might think, like, okay, we have 10, 12 brothers here in Holland. That's all. But, you know, all across the four corners of the earth, you have men, you know, that follow the truth, that have been given the truth, the spirit of truth, that are not bowing down the knee to Baal, which Baal is a god that they used to worship and still do worship. If you look at, what is it, the Wall Street. Wall Street, you have a bull there, you know. Also here in, yeah, and also in Amsterdam Centrum, when we were standing there, also a stock market. You also had a bull over there, you know. They used to put heifers over here also, you know, which that represents that spirit, Baal. So these people, they want people to worship their power, their God, which they worship. But the man that follows the ways of truth, you know, he's gonna see these things. He's gonna also see these subliminal messages, just like when we are speaking about.
Je kan toch omheen lopen? Je kan toch omheen lopen?
Oh nee, ik loop.
Oké,
Ik ben een van de leger of zo hoor.
Yeah, man, so we recognize these symbols, we recognize these spirits that they put upon these statues, you know, and what they worship. So now you have people that are being reserved from the Most High that are not gonna worship their gods, because Esau, you know, Esau has that cup, you know, filled with abominations, with all these other gods, you know, Egyptian gods, Assyrian gods, all these gods that they worship is one big mosh pit of abominations to the Most High. Yeah, man. That's their wine, that's their philosophies. Those are the things where they make these nations drunken, make these people drunken with, you know, so that they come after the men of the Most High.
This is Tobit chapter 1, starting at verse 4. When I was in mine own country, in the land of Israel, being but young, all the tribe of Naphtali, my father, fell from the house of Jerusalem, which was chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, that all the tribes should sacrifice there where the temple of the habitation of the Most High was consecrated, and built for all ages. Now all the tribes which together revolted, and the house of my father Naphtali sacrificed unto the heifer Baal.
Yeah, and also what it represents is, for example, the Planned Parenthood, you know, because what did they bring to Baal? What did they sacrifice to Baal? Children. You know, they put children. If you have that statue of Baal, that's a heifer with the hands out and a fire that is roaring, yeah, in the belly. So what do these people do? They take their children and then they throw it in the fire and then they sacrifice it to Baal, so that they can get riches, so that they can get money and whatnot. You know. So Planned Parenthood, that's also our people sacrificing their children. You know, like the Most High, like it's written in the Bible, the Most High, He requires the firstborn. You know, there's something special about the firstborn of that opens the matrix, that opens the womb. You see.
So here you got a picture of them actually performing the sacrifice, which you don't see that the belly is open. But here I got another picture which goes back to Moloch. But Moloch basically goes into the same thing, which that's that heifer, and then underneath, you do see the entrance where they can put the children when the fire is lit. Which is Moloch, but
yeah. Which Moloch is Lord, if you go into the translation.
Moloch.
Yeah. And Baal is also Lord. So that's why it's the same. You can look it up. Yeah.
Oh man, this I won't make it, he says.
Yeah, okay. No problem.
The Romans was not done. I don't know if you want that the remnant. There's the remnant according to the election of grace. You want that?
No.
What else you want?
Yeah, die hebben we doing.
Again?
Yeah.
And again.
So we started off with that. But that's the whole, that's the beauty thereof, because now you have the whole, everything is being laid upon the table. Like, okay, these things are connected. Everything is connected. So now when you're gonna read that book, then when I say certain things, then you're gonna understand it even better.
Even better, yeah. Which one? The book 1 or first 1 and 1 or 1 and? Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, 5 again, and then we jump straight to 6.
This is Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 5. Behold ye among the heathen and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work and work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you. Can I speak on that?
Yeah.
Because one of the things that happened back in the days as well is when our people fell away, you know, especially the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, they thought that these people were literally done away with. So when Yahushua came back and he brought back, you know, that the information that it's also eventually regarding the those that fell away, the basically the circumcision or those that knew that they were Jews was like, no, it can't be true, right? They fell away. But then the understanding was being brought forth, like there's no way that you are able to justify yourself before the Most High through the law. Therefore, you need a mediator that is able to take away your sins, you know, and he is able to also grant that unto those that fell away at first. You see?
Yeah, it's like that image that they always portray in Christianity. You have a cliff over here, you have a other cliff over there, and who brings you to God? That they lay down the cross, but forget about that, they make a bridge. And who's that bridge? Yahushua. You know, because we were separated from the Most High. So the mediator, we need something in between, somebody in between, and that's Yahushua to be able to come back to the Most High.
Verse 6, straight up?
Yeah, verse 6.
Habakkuk 1 and 6. For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land, to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs.
So we went into the fact that the Chaldeans, those are the Illuminati, those are the ones behind the scenes, the ones that are doing these spells in Bohemian Grove and whatnot. You know, because the Chaldeans, they were soothsayers, sorcerers, witches. You see? Let me see. Chaldeans is Kasha Dayama, which means the wise of the land. And they do these spells upon people, you know, like how you see, what was this guy, Biscuit? Or you see people dying at shows, you know, they worship, they come in a certain vibration, and people passing out, people dying, people jumping to their death, you know. So these are the spells that they put upon our people, these incantations. And if you look up incantation, it's a spell created by using words. So even with songs, you know, you can put a spell and a certain vibration upon a person. Like we were going into, they're making all our men thugs, you know, thinking that, putting a certain vibration on them and calling all our women bitches and thoughts. They put that vibration on them, you see, and they can shake it off. Give me the Isaiah.
Isaiah 47 and 1.
Yeah, that's what I gave him.
It's Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1.
And then Psalms 100.
Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
You see, so the daughter of Chaldeans, of the Chaldeans, so they are offspring of these Chaldeans. They walk in the ways of the Chaldeans. Like we just said, the Chaldeans are the ones that do sorcery, that do spells. So who were the Chaldeans back in the day? Back in the day you had the daughter of Babylon, the Babylonians. You know, they were the Chaldeans. But the modern day Chaldeans are the Illuminati. Just like how it says the daughter of the Chaldeans, you also have the daughter of Babylon, because the daughter of Babylon is America. Like we went into, you have that cup with all these abominations therein, which are these yeah. No problem.
Shalom. Shalom. First of all, I praise to you. How about sitting outside? But Shalom.
God, shalom. Yeah, so you have the daughter of the Chaldeans, which are these people in the Illuminati, you know, that put these spells, that own these banks and everything. And then you have the daughter of, it also says in that same verse, the daughter of Babylon, which Babylon, daughter of Babylon, is the spitting image of the ancient Babylon, you know, because they worship the same gods like the ancient Babylonians, but they call it different names. You have, for example, Ishtar, which now is called Easter, you know. You have, they worship a tree, you know, like it says in Jeremiah 10, you know, they deck a tree. That's also what they used to do in the time of Babylon. You had a tree and you had ornaments in it. You can see that they carved out in stones. You have these hieroglyphs, which show you that they had gods like Dagon and all these gods, which are back, but yeah, under a new name or a different name. You know, there's no new thing under the sun, like the scripture says. So, if you can read it again.
This is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Yeah, so the Chaldeans from Habakkuk 1 is speaking about the same Chaldeans in this chapter also. Yeah, the modern day Chaldeans. And the daughter of Babylon, the virgin daughter of Babylon, because if you go into that word virgin, it says, mind you, it says virgin. Virgin is batwala, which means separated and secluded from men. So you have been there's a daughter of Babylon that is not touched, that is untouched. And who is untouched? Which nation, which people, which country? Because it goes into a country, the country of America. They are always the one that is raging war, but they themselves have never really been touched, like how they spoil these other nations. You see?
They never suffered the loss of children.
Yeah. Give me that in Psalms 137. Psalms 137, verse 7.
I think I know what you want. In the king.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, no.
This is Psalms chapter 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Lord Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee, as thou hast served us.
See, so in that same verse, it says, daughter of Esau,
Daughter of Babylon.
Daughter of Babylon, which is daughter of Babylon, is Esau, as it's going to say.
This is Psalms 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee, as thou hast served us.
Yeah, man. So the daughter of Babylon, which is the daughter of Edom, that shows you that that nation is that daughter of Babylon. That nation is the one that is going to be destroyed. But now they're untouched, they're unscathed, you know. And like the brother, you can get that scripture. Yeah. Because like the brother is gonna read, they are untouched and they are what is it called, tender and delicate. You know, they are faring sumptuously. They have all the riches. They have all the power in the world. You know, America, because America is basically is the whore that sits upon the water, the whore that sits upon the beast and upon these many waters. You know, she is steering everything.
Luke chapter 15, verse 9.
Er was een certain man wat was kraks in Finland en verder subdozelen everything.
Yeah, so
Verder niet.
We were now speaking about how the daughter of Babylon and the daughter of the Chaldeans, you know, that's Esau. But this is also speaking about the Illuminati. This is also speaking about the rich man. You know, the rich man is the 1%. You know, and we are Lazarus. We are at the bottom right now. We already went into that. We are at the bottom of the food chain, and that you have these Illuminati, the Chaldeans, that are on top. So this is a perfect precept that the brother pulls, you know, because they fare sumptuously. They don't have the stress that we have, like we were going into. They don't think about, okay, what bills do I have to pay? No, man. They just make money. They just own land, own people. You see? So they don't have the stresses that Lazarus has. That's that rich man. That's these Chaldeans, the 1%, the ruling Amalekites. Yeah, to be make luxurious. They live in luxury. Yeah. Yeah, that's straks mee vers. Yeah, so the Isaiah 47.
And 2
Yeah.
is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 2. Take the millstone and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thighs, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Yeah, so this is speaking about back to the daughter of Babylon, which is America. It's speaking about how the Most High is going to uncover her secret parts. The Most High is going to show all the things that they do in the dark. You know, He's going to set them up so that everything is going to be seen. Let me see. Nahum 3, I believe. Nahum 3. Yeah, and 5. Yeah. Because it's the Most High that's causing all of this to be made known and to be made seen. Because even though it's Esau that is snitching on his own nation, on his own countrymen, it's still the Most High that's putting it in their spirits to do these things. You know, Satan against Satan. Satan against Satan. Matthew. Satan versus Satan. Satan versus Satan. Yeah. Yeah, you have it in Luke and in read the Nahum publication.
Nahum 3 and 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, I will discover their skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
Yeah, man. So the Most High is causing this nation to be discovered. Because back in the day, people would look at Esau and, you know, they would respect him, they would do what he says. But nowadays, you know, all of his nastiness is being made known, is being made manifest. You see? So these other nations, they're gonna be stirred up. They're gonna be, they want to take revenge on Esau. You know, they're gonna take a proverb against him. But it's the Most High that puts that in their spirit.
This is Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked.
So, you see? Beautiful, man. So the Most High said it, and shall it not be so? So now the Most High, he made Esau so drunken that, you know, he thinks he's on top of the world and that he can't be touched, he can't be taken down. So he's that drunken and that prideful that he's making himself bear, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, of course.
And it's funny because I was watching the video of Elder Pastor Kabar on Isaiah the 34th chapter, and the thing that I thought about was what happened with Noah. You know, Noah drank so much that, you know, eventually he, you know, basically, you know, got naked, and then, you know, his skirt was discovered, man, by his son. You know, that was what I was thinking about as well. And now the brother said Esau is making himself so drunk that he's doing it himself. You know, exposing his own BS that he's doing.
Yeah, because like the scripture says, if Satan is against Satan, how can his kingdom stand? Start at 25. Yeah. Yeah, like Luke 12. But yeah, man, so Esau is being made bare right now. You know, he received that cup of the Most High, you know, so that he can have the people under subjection. He has his empire right now, but he has taken it far overboard. So the Most High is like, okay, now is the time that right about now, I'm gonna take you down. You know, so the truth came through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and now even more truth is being spread. You know, continually you have things that Esau has been doing for years are being made known. You know, the pollution, the poisoning of the people. You know, all of a sudden everybody is vegan. You see, because they start to see that Esau is poisoning the food. He's poisoning the people with the chemtrails and with the water. You know, with the fluoride in the water, calcifying your pineal gland. You see. So the three main things that your body needs to sustain itself is water, air, and food. He pollutes all of those three. But he himself, he has the best pieces of meat, the best foods. You know, he makes sure that where he dwells at, that those places are not being sprayed. You see, because the cities where Jake is at, that's the ones that are being sprayed the most. You see all these crosses and checkerboards in the air, you know, upside down stars, you know, sacrificing onto their power, onto their God. You see, yeah, cross also.
Matthew?
Chapter 12, vers 26.
One above.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 26.
En de oude zijn geloof dit toch en zeg dem en verkeerdom de engels en zelf is op de solar los en verzetten voor ons de engels en zelf zal staan.
Yeah, yeah. It's simple. So,
Let me read it for you. Do
Yeah.
you think they understand that when you read?
no, you can read it. You can read it.
Okay, cool. Matthew chapter 12, verse
25 and 26. 25.
25. Matthew chapter 20, sorry, Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. And Yahushua knew their thought, and say unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?
Gone. So that's what's going on right now. For example, with these these people that are bringing out the truth, these whistleblowers, you know, most of them are Edomites, you know, that have been juiced in or that have been doing certain things behind the scenes. They are making Esau's secrets bare. You see, so if Esau's house is divided against himself, it's not going to be able to stand. It starts with these whistleblowers, but also you have Russia. Russia is also Esau, but Russia is against America. So these two, they don't like each other, they don't mix, but they're the same house, they're the same person, the same nationality. So yeah, so like the Most High said, if a kingdom is set against itself, if Satan is set against himself, he's not going to be able to stand. So that's what's happening right now, man. Esau's rulership is circling down the drain and it's all crumbling.
Yeah, and Europe will hate America.
Yeah.
It's soon that the same people
Britain is gonna hate America. The mother that what does the scripture say? The mother that bear you is gonna be sore displeased with you.
Yeah.
You see? So America came out of Britain, but even Britain is gonna hate America for what they're doing. Yeah, and those three are the same people: America, Britain, Russia.
I have it if you want it.
Yeah. You can read it.
The second Ezra chapter 2 and verse 2. The mother that bare them said unto them, Go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken.
No.
about the land.
Sore displeased. You gotta look up for sore displeased. Give me your precept.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seed and great authority. And this beast is referring to the revived Roman Empire, you know, which is the EU and the NATO. The leopard.
Go back. Read again.
This is Revelation 13 and 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seed and great authority.
Gone. So the leopard, which the leopard represents Alexander the Greek. Alexander the Greek. That's where their empire started off with, you know. And then you have the bear, which the feet of the bear. The feet. What does the feet represent? The end. You know. You have the top, and then you have the end of a thing. So the end of this empire is going to be the bear, and the bear is Russia. And then you have the lion, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, which the lion represents Britain, Great Britain. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Yeah, man. So that's how you see it's one beast with dividing within itself.
Because what you said with how shall a kingdom stand? Lest if a house is divided against itself, how shall his kingdom stand? You know, so if the Most High puts the spirit upon Russia to be against America, meanwhile they're the ones to be in authority, then their kingdom is going to crumble, because these are two quote unquote superpowers, man, that have a way different mentality, man. The things that you can do in America, if you don't do that in Russia, hey, I don't know what they're gonna do with you, man. They're either gonna kick you out of the land, man. You know, there are no sissies in the Russian army, man.
Yeah. And to make it even simpler and on a smaller scale, what did Esau do with the household of the Israelites? You know, he divided it. You know, the man he sent away, the woman he sent away, the children he sent away during slavery, and even now he divided the household that if a woman doesn't want to be with the man, or if she kicks out the man, then she's gonna get more benefits. You know, that's that whole serpent beguiling Esau. You see, so Esau, he divides the household so that he has more, so that the power in the house it dwindles. You know, there's no household to stand upon, because the man is gone. You know, the head is gone, the head of the family, the ones that's supposed to make the important decisions or steer the rest, he's gone. So how can the house stand if it's divided? Esau knows these things, and that's what he's using in his tactics. Did you find it? Sword is good?
Was the sound right?
No, I think Ezekiel or something.
Oh.
No. I don't think it's
I said so too.
No. Hey, can you give me the Isaiah? Read on in the Isaiah. What is that?
Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 4. As for our Redeemer, the Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more become the lady of kingdoms.
Yeah, man. So you had the Nahum, right?
I had.
Yeah. Let me see.
3 and 5?
Yeah. Because she is called the Lady of Kingdoms. She is the harlot that sits upon the beast. You know, she rules all these nations with rigor and with all these false, how should I call it? They make a contract, but they break their own contracts. You see? But they still have rulership over these nations. They go in a country and they set up an embassy over there. It's like me coming in your house and telling you that your wife should cook this and this and that for me. You know, so that's how Esau is. Esau is the one that goes into these countries and tells them how to rule their country. So they are Esau is the Lady of Kingdoms. America is the Lady of Kingdoms, because in every country we have an American embassy. You see? Go ahead. You know?
Verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient, as thou very, very heavily laid thy yoke.
Yeah, so the Most High, he was wroth with his people. He polluted his inheritance. You know, he caused us to go into captivity and lose our heritage. But the way Esau did it, he didn't show no mercy. You know, he didn't have mercy upon the people with gray hair, upon the ancient. So that's how Esau rules. He rules with rigor, with no mercy. You see? Go ahead. Revelation.
Verse 7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever.
Revelation 18.
So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Revelation 18 and 7. Go read again, Babakshah.
And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
You see, so Esau, he thinks like, hey, I'm gonna be a lady forever. I'm constantly gonna be in charge here, you know. But he doesn't think about the latter end. You know, like, hey, let me just take it easy on these people. Let me just take it easy on the earth, because if you come you know, like the scripture says, he's going to come upon the people with great wrath, Revelation 12:12. If you come with that hastiness, then the Most High is also going to come with hastiness. But if you would keep the laws of the land, if you would keep the land Sabbath or whatnot, maybe your empire would last longer. But he has no mercy upon not even his own people. You see? Revelation. Safe.
This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse
Yeah.
verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
You see? So how much she had glorified herself. She was so proud. You know, nobody can touch me. I'm you know, an unscathed. People, I'm basically, how do you call it? You have this force field around you. Nobody can touch you. But the Most High says, you have to bring torments and sorrows upon her. You should give her, and that's what's gonna happen when we have that spiritual powers. That's when we are gonna bring onto her double, like how she treated us. You know, they treated us with no mercy during slavery. So when we have dominion over the Edomites, we're not gonna have any sorrow, man. You know.
They got the double cup.
Yeah.
Why? Double.
Reward onto her
Because
double.
even if they said, you have a deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they will get what they will get.
Yeah, man. So it read again, Bobby.
This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
See, so the pride thereof, man. So prideful, the Americans, they're so prideful, like, hey, I'm in the ruling seat. I'm in a country that, you know, even when they go to these other countries, people despise these Americans. They have this thing about them, this awe of themselves. They think themselves to be very great, you know, but they are gonna be brought low, you know. Esau, America, is gonna be brought low. They're not gonna be sitting a queen forever. So go back to Isaiah 47 verse 8. Ezekiel 38 and 11.
It's Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 8. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures,
Oh yeah.
that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in a day, the loss of children and widowhood. They
God.
shall.
So read up again, Bobby Kishan.
It's Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures,
Yeah, that's dwelling deliciously and sumptuously, America. You know, listen.
that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yes, she dwells carelessly because if you go into certain places in America doesn't have a wall. You can just ride into America. You know, you can just drive into America. They dwell carelessly, but they go to other people's countries to wage war. But they themselves, they got their own backyard not fenced. They are not, just like how these other countries, they are continually in a way of alert and at war. But America, they're not scared, man. You see, so they dwell carelessly. Yeah.
Also because America is always in these other countries, so they be like, we don't need no protection within our country ourselves. That's why all these other nations are alert, like the brother said, because they do need to be constantly, sharp for enemy coming in. But America be like, no, we don't need that. We're the best. We're strong.
Yeah, exactly.
We got the blessing. We got this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, time's gonna come when everything's gonna be shut towards America. They can't do shit. Nothing.
Yeah.
No protection.
Yeah, so you get that in Revelation 18. That's the next verse also. Loss is going to come in one day. Go ahead.
That sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in a day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments.
You see, so that's how this country is ruling the earth, with incantations, with sorceries, with enchantments. Like we just read, the cup of abomination, the cup that is also passed through Esau's hand. The cup of rulership, but also the cup of abominations, the things that the Most High hates. You see? So through their wine, they rule these countries. Through their wine, through their philosophies, through their sorceries, that's how they keep everything intact. But in one day, widowhood is going to come to them. They're going to have the loss of children, and that's going to be through these ICBM missiles, intercontinental nuclear ballistic missiles, that are going to be straightway pointed at America, and it's going to be laid desolate. Okay?
This is Revelation 18 and verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Yeah, man. So in one day, in 1 hour, that place is going to be laid desolate, America. And also the kings that were doing business with her, that dwelt deliciously with her, because America was doing import and export. They were having that petrol dollar. So people were selling onto America. That great country is going to be desolate. So they're not going to have a business partner anymore. So that's why they also are going to be sad for a moment.
I got a precept.
Go.
This is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth and is of the seven, and goeth into perdition. So when it says that and he is the eighth and is of the seven, this is referring to America that came forth out of Britain, like the brother said earlier, man. But America is the place where perdition is going to take place, which perdition goes into destruction, man. The whole land of America is going to be a desert. Only these desert type creatures are going to inhabit the land, and America is going to be an example, man, for those that live afterwards. Like, this is what happened with those that lived in this way, man. They were these people, It's like some type of history, class that we're gonna take our children. Like, hey, you see this? This is what happened back then, mommy and daddy and this and that. Your little brother, this and that. We used to live here in the old world. That type of thing is gonna happen. Huh?
Yeah, it's just like how Sodom and Gomorrah is an example, because they don't even teach about Sodom and Gomorrah. But if you Google it, if you look on YouTube, you're gonna see that the phosphor that is over there, it can still be ignited. So it's not a fairy tale story, Sodom and Gomorrah. It's something that really happened, And that's also gonna be with America. America is also gonna be known for the things that they have done. It's going to be made desolate, just like how Sodom and Gomorrah is made desolate and nothing grows over there. Actually, Ezekiel 38. I don't forget.
We're gonna grab it for you.
Because we forgot to pull that on verse 8. It's on verse 8 actually.
I'll grab it for you, brother.
Yeah.
Especially for you.
Batterijen.
Oi, oi, oi.
38 and 11, eh?
Yeah.
This is Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates.
You see, so this is Ezekiel 38 speaks on how Russia is gonna make war with America. So now Russia is putting it in her mind to go up against the land of the north, which is America, that dwells carelessly, that dwells without bars and without walls, because they are that proud, you know. They think that they are the police of the world and they can't be touched. But the Most High is going to put it in Russia, their mind to, you know, to go after this country, to go after America. You see?
For table?
Yeah.
For the camera?
Yeah.
I third goal. Should have leave it to the back.
So read on in Isaiah 47.
God. It's Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yeah, man. So this reminds me also of Daniel. You know, they are wiser than the children of Daniel. You know, they are the children of the dark, and they have been given this left-hand side knowledge, but it perverted their mind. Like, hey, we can't be touched. You know, we do everything according to what these deities tell us. But you forget, these deities also are in the hand and in the power of the Most High. So after a while, the Most High is going to take away the power that these left-hand side demons have, and Esau's going to be... I already see it with the weather. When Esau says tomorrow it's going to rain, these deities be giving them soothsaying like it's going to rain, it's going to be this and that. The next day, jack shit. Yeah, it's all different than their weather forecast. So they're losing their grip and their power because they themselves are messing around with these things. They use how do you call it?
Geoengineering?
Yeah, geoengineering for bringing rains, for with these chemtrails also they are engineering these storms, all these how do you call it, Lucy and all these female names that they give these hurricanes. They're all geoengineered, man. You see, so his mind is perverted. He's drunken off that wine, and he's like, yeah, man, it doesn't matter what I do, I'm not going to be taken out of position, out of my rulership. But the Most High is going to stop these left-hand side demons for giving you the wisdom that you have, and you're going to be in total shock.
You want the Jeremiah? You want Ezekiel 28 with the wiser than Daniel?
Yeah.
This is Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
Yeah, so Esau is wiser than Daniel now. You know, he has been given the knowledge of the left-hand side, and also they dig, they excavate, they go and look up things what are written in the Bible, you know, and they see that, hey, the Bible is true. The Bible is true. All these things that are being said in the Bible with, for example, treasures or
City of David.
Yeah, they're all finding these things, so they are wiser than Daniel. You see, but the Most High is going to take that away.
You want your mother shall be circumcised?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50, starting at verse 11. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage. Because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness.
The hindermost?
The hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
What heb je gelezen? 50 and?
50 and both 11 and 12, and also verse 13. I want to
Read again, Brother Kishan.
Verse 11, study.
Yeah.
This is Jeremiah 15 and 11. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage. Because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls.
Yeah, man. So Esau, he's the destroyer of the heritage of the Most High, because Jeremiah 50 speaks upon the prophecy against Babylon, which ancient Babylon wasn't destroyed by fire; it was taken over. Yeah. So this is a future time prophecy where the destroyers of the heritage of the Most High, the ones that beat it out of us, you know, the ones that kept it in place, that kept it a secret that we are the Israelites, they were grown fat. You know, they have all the great places on earth. They have old money. They have money from way back, like we were reading. They leave the substance onto their babes, you know. So they have grown fat. You know, they're fat with
Substance.
yeah, substance, and with all the things that they took from people. Yeah, so they are grown fat. They're grown fat for the slaughter. They're gonna spew it out, just like how, what does it say, Job 20. You know, right around when he's gonna fill his belly, the Most High is gonna let him vomit it up. No.
Verse, verse 12. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
Yeah, so your mother shall be sore confounded, she that bare you. So the mother is speaking about Britain. You know, like we were going into, you have America, Russia, Britain. They're all the same nation, but still the mother, which is Britain, is going to be sore confounded, and she's going to be mad. She's going to be angry at America for the things that they're speaking with their mouth, you know, which the president is speaking, the things, the pride of their heart. Yeah. So she that bear you shall be ashamed, because America came out of Britain. Go ahead.
Verse 13, because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at all her plagues.
Like the Spirit, man, is just what you were reading in Revelation 18, when these bombs are going to drop in Babylon, you know, Babylon the Great, which is America. They are all going to hiss at the plagues, these other nations. You see? Because ancient Babylon wasn't destroyed by fire, but this Babylon is going to be destroyed by fire. See? Yeah. It's going to be laid desolate and waste. Yeah. Babylon. If you go into that word Babylon, it means, it goes back to Babal, which is confusion.
So you see all abomination, and all shit.
Yeah.
Garbage in America, man.
Yeah.
Rules in America is bullshit, abomination. That's why it need to be destroyed, man. Oh, huh? Oh, this is far?
Yeah.
Okay. I go fit. But I was saying, America is bullshit, you know, abomination. You know why? Because they have all the gays and all bullshit garbage. Well, I seen a video today in Instagram, somebody posted a video that the woman had the man was tied up.
Oh yeah,
And
so
then he walk in.
yeah, silver.
So they
Oh.
They feel freedom, man. You can't do that in America, man. That's why it was like a time of America. America need to be destroyed and gone.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
What's
That's
that?
why
Subtitle.
it's bunch of confusion over
I see
there.
your comments.
Confusion. Yeah, confusion, man.
Yeah, I saw that video that you're speaking about. I think it's a Moabite woman, a small, short
Yeah.
woman with a
And
guy on a leaf. Then
it's a
big.
Moabite, yeah, the
Yeah.
Moabite, and the man just look like Esau.
Yeah. So they
Esau want her, but he be a slave for her, walking with a fucking jockey with all the
it
makeup, all
wasn't
the
jockey.
body.
Bikini. He was bikini.
Yeah,
It was-
oh yeah. Bikini shit. What is it? America, man. What kind of America is that? The rules in America is freedom. They can do anything in there. So that's confusion, man. They need to be destroyed. That's why the Most High will destroy America soon. Even the person who's speaking about that, America will be destroyed by nuke. Destruction is coming, man.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, if you have children and you walk the street with your children and all of a sudden you see that, how are you gonna explain that? How are you gonna protect them from that? You know?
It's fucked up, man.
You have these trannies going to schools and reading for them, and I see a whole bunch of things where they want to promote these trannies, and then they go to a certain bar with their children and they want to teach their children like, yeah, these people are okay. The child's looking like, what the fuck?
Scared.
Yeah. No, the parents like, no, he's not gonna do anything. See a big ass tranny guy with maybe a dildo between us, you know? And then they walk like that in front of children.
Yeah, man. And also they put in a series that, not series, a movie. They show you that for black people, you know. I forgot what the name, what the man name. He always put up himself like a woman. He's a famous man.
Madea?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Madea.
Yeah, Madea, yeah. But I didn't want to watch it, man. I didn't want to watch it. But I don't like it.
Yes.
But then I put it on to see what's going to happen. You know, my spirit tell me don't watch it, but spirit tell me look something there. So what happened there? They want to show you that the man had to dress like a woman. Okay, and also they show you the man from Irish. He come in America to meet his friend, his best friend, but that's his boyfriend. They put it on a fucking show, and they are Christian. They are Christian, man. What the heck is this, man? They accept it, and then see the people be like, oh, whoa. They feel like Christian, you know?
Yeah,
they
yeah.
accept that fucking homos, but then behind the secret, then that man from Eros, he take his mother. He want to marry his mother. But man, this fucked up, man. This bullshit. That's why I was like, hey, enough. But this is not for me, man. But this is why they're doing this confusion, the things that they want to do. It's okay with that. Show the people that, oh, it's normal. Show the black people to see it's normal. Kid is normal. To them, well, not so. That's why I need to destroy, man. Okay, go back when you was, man.
Now he had this scripture for you because of the.
Okay, go on. Deuteronomy chapter 22.
I have the brother was going into.
Verse 5.
Verse 5. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5.
Zal het weer de
Oh, yeah.
per de du aban neder zal amba put wat a wabbe karbe voor al de dood zo er afval bilanz de gloor jouw bouwer.
So he said, Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5, the woman shall not wear that which permitted unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua.
Yeah, like the brother was going into, you know, he saw this series or movie where Madea, she was wearing clothes, which actually is a man, you know, so Esau again, turning everything upside down. He wants a man. The scripture says a man should not wear that what pertains to a woman.
Yeah.
But what does he do? He takes that and he emasculates our men. You know, most of the time it's our men that he pushes that towards, Charles Barkley, I seen in it, Martin Lawrence. You got
Yeah.
all of them, the
All of them. Who
famous.
is a movie star?
Yeah, all of them movie stars. He puts that vibration upon them. You know, that's like a initiation for them to get to the next step.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart also, you know.
Nobody is something.
Yeah.
God.
So
Dit nou also de fles bij sper, de beetje van sper.
yeah, breaking the spirit.
Because also woman, where met, and also X, like as one, but the boots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Woman,
Yeah.
love, look, I found gun.
The same thing, the woman was here. Yeah, the same woman who made this special. You would block her.
Oh, the video. Yeah,
That's her.
yeah, yeah.
He's trying to talk about her.
En ook in Amerika, de woman, er is of like as one of boobs. Because they grow small boobs. But no, tough.
He's saying that the woman. He's saying that the woman that take off her shirt
Yeah.
to be like how manly wear, like, you know, the abs six pack or stuff. But she have a titty, you know, but it's small, so you can see it. But she playing tough like she's a man. But the titty right here, what the fuck is she doing? Man, get the fuck out of here with that, man.
Romans 1, verse 25.
Step Serak. 12, the 15.
Hold up, read that. What do you have here?
So the brother was going into Medea, and that they're breaking our men, making them effeminate. You know, they're pushing that vibration. And don't forget, like we were speaking about, Esau, he works with sorcery and incantations, enchantments. So now, if you go to Wiki and you search for Medea, then you get a god. You have Medea is the name of a Greek god. So now they put the name of Medea upon that man, the Israelite man, but actually it's a Greek goddess. So
Do you even know what he doing, man?
see, they give him that name. This is
Yeah, okay, then, yeah.
It's Medea on Wikipedia. In Greek mythology, Medea, ancient Greek, is the daughter of King Attis or Caucasus, a niece of Cyrus, and the granddaughter of the sun god Helios. Medea figures in the myth of Jason and the Argonauts, appearing in Hesiod's, Theo, all these difficult names. Hesiod, Theogony, around 700 BC, but best known for Euripides' tragedy Medea and Apollonius of Rhodes' epic, yeah, whatever. So the thing is, you can Google it yourself. Medea is actually a Greek goddess. So you can't really see the name. Let's see if it will focus better. But yeah, man. So they're putting spells upon our people without our people even knowing it. Yeah.
This is what happened there, man. Esau did that. Esau put for pressure on the, you know why? Because he was the man, what he named? What? Terry? Terry what?
Tyler Perry.
Huh?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. Okay. So he was a Christian of to a singer of you know, like a so-called gospel.
Yeah.
Church, something like that. So he made a drama, stuff like this, you know.
He used to make he used to make plays.
Oh.
You know, on not on movies but plays, like where you go and you sit in the hall and then you see people act and then they take the curtain, they pull the curtain again. So that's how he started.
Oh.
But then they see the talent or he worshiping them and stuff, and then he gets put higher.
Yes.
So they
That's
used to have
right.
plays. I remember I remember you used to have the DVD with them, you know.
Yeah. That's why from there I want to say they are question about that for people that like it, you know. As soon he want to become more famous and then he gonna jump on that thing, but material, you know, then he have to dress up like fucking bullshit. According to Esau, the devil, the so-called white man is a devil, man. He deceive everyone. And now they're going to be destroyed too. Fuck, man. Okay, good.
So go back to the.
You have some real answer? You telling Roman chapter?
Oh yeah. Romans 1 and 25.
Yeah. Roman and
Romans, chapter 1, verse 25.
he said, Romans chapter 1, verse 25.
Who says the truth of power and do I lie and worship and serve the creator more than the creator who is blessed forever. Amen.
Let me see. Yeah, it was something else. Romans 1.
23.
Yeah. Now with that they went to their own lusts. Yeah, the next one. Next verse. The on the fourth and sixth. Yeah. You see, so this also goes back to what we were speaking on, that we were worshiping, our forefathers were worshiping devils, worshiping the creature, you know, things that are created in heaven, things that are created on the water, you know, that's what our people were into, worshiping that. So what did the Most High do?
Verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto fear of wickedness forever. Their woman did says not listen into that work is against the door.
What you were speaking on.
Okay, Romans chapter 1, verse 26.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, you can start at 25 and 26.
Verse 25. Who changed the truth of power into a lie and worship and serve the pressure more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Verse 26. For this cause power give them up unto fell affliction. For every young woman he changed the natural used into that which is against nature. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see,
Oh,
so
yeah, that's it.
the Most High, He sees what the nation of Israel was doing in the dark, worshiping these other, committing idolatry, actually, you know, worshiping other things, other gods. So the Most High, He gave them up to foul affections. He's like, okay, now you want to do these things, you want to be sneaky behind my back. Okay, I'm going to cause even your women to lust after other women, like the brother was going into. You know that they walk shirtless, they with their flat chest, or they get it operated. They get it operated, and yeah,
And then you see the light, the scar.
Yeah.
She bent off. And the bear.
Oh yeah.
See how the bear like a dog guy, man. Get the fuck out of
They
here,
popping, they swallowing testosterone pills.
And the
testosterone,
hormone.
yeah.
And the hormone to
Make
give
their-
you everything. And the voice like a heavy man.
Yeah, that's true.
The natural is gone. I think the most I'll change it. It's going to be like this.
Sirach 50 verse 30.
Sirach 15 verse 13.
Yeah, so you,
Lord and village.
Abomination.
They the fear God love it not.
He that feared the Most High, the Yahweh shall love it not.
So exactly what you might think, like, hey, why these men continually speaking about other people? They're you know, it's them. Leave them. If they want to do that, cut it off. Leave it. If they want to be gay, if they want to be homosexual, leave it. You know, that's what people might think. But what the scripture says, you know, the most high, he hates abominations, which the word abomination is a filthy act. So he hates these filthy acts, and the men of the Lord, they hate it too.
Yeah.
You know, like it says in the book of Psalms 91.
That's why the Most High show you what he hate for us to hate too.
Yeah.
So we can see what is not good.
97.
Then it's not good, man. So you have the same feeling like, hey, look what the fuck. The Most High also like, yeah.
Psalms 97.
See?
97.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then-
Can I say something?
No, no.
But you know, concerning what the scripture says, don't be saying these things at your job, man. If they ask you what you think about these type of people, just tell them, yeah, let them do their things. But that's when you put on the basically the iceberg suit, man. The iceberg suit. You go to your job, put your iceberg suit on, and you act, and you portray yourself in a way that is to be at peace with all men. But when you leave the job, then you turn back on your Superman suit or your brown bear suit, man. But in the spirit, man, so
Camera.
but in the face of those people that we work with, man, portray a different image than that we actually have to stand for in this truth, man. Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. They don't need to be knowing what we actually think and preach. Be wise concerning that, man. But in the spirit, we do need to hate these things. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're at the job, don't say, I hate those people.
No. But the Most High show you this is what
Yeah.
is in the world. So you need to hate these things in the world. But the Most High also said, love your no. You say be peace on your enemy.
Yeah.
Just
say that.
Yeah. Be peace on your enemy. So and also I remember the scripture that said if it's your enemy, give them the water. When you're hungry, give them drink. When you're hungry, give them eat. And when they're thirsty, give them drink. So, but they are your enemy, But then, so we keep this on. We see everything what Esau doing because according to the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, he has the world in his hand, so he can do all kind of shit. The Most High is given to them. Okay, so we used to have it, but we doing some sin, Back in the day, King David, King Solomon was the king of Israel, so we used to have power over everything. But then we fall, then we come back again, then we fall again to slavery. So we lose everything. You understand? So now Esau take the world now. He have power for everything. He have a fatness of the earth. He can do whatever they want, but wicked. So you see it yourself. That's why we're going to do the work of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, and then the kingdom comes. End of the time. Then we take over. We are next. Then we keep the law. Understand?
I got a precept on what the brother was speaking about. This is Proverbs 12, verse 23. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. So the brother was speaking about when you're at your job, you shouldn't speak about this truth. You shouldn't speak about certain things. So that's what the scripture says. A prudent man, if you're prudent, you're wise, then you conceal knowledge. You know when you're supposed to keep it behind.
Yes.
At the job, we shouldn't speak about these things. Just like how the scripture also says, don't give your pearls unto swine. When you see an Israelite that is fixated in the ways of this world, that is, how you call it, a friend of this world, then you're not gonna throw this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding at him, because he's not gonna get it. He's gonna be like, okay, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, harmless like a dog.
Like that picture. You also have a picture, a meme, where somebody is driving away. It's a cartoon. So you have somebody in a car driving away, and then you have this kind of bear he's like, yeah, man, that cousin of mine, he was here again, you know, the Israelites speaking about Israel and blah blah blah. So while he's driving away, so in your face he might be like, yeah, okay, but then when you drive away, like, okay, I did a good thing, I explained it to him, then he's gonna call his friend like, you see that motherfucker stupid cousin of mine, he was here preaching again to me, blah blah blah. So don't give your pearls to swine, man. They're gonna trample it. Yeah.
Proverbs? You said something about Proverbs?
Yeah, you what? Yeah.
Als je bent schrijven of zo'n dingen vraagt, maar zo ben je.
Oh, he was talking about that when you fill up an application or something, and then you could see gender, right? You could see a male, let's say F, FM, and what else was us, right? Yeah, it was an F.
X of that something.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect. You say male, female, and no, X, you know, and then I said nothing. But that, he was talking about
That's why SM voor mid voor Zeeland.
Oh, I need. They don't want nobody to know about that. That, even the passport, right? Even the passport is a work behind that shit in there. So you can't see if this is a man or a woman. If a cop gets you, then he say, I don't know if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. Then he will see that's your face and your name. That's it.
That's why blij als we willen. Oh, het is leuk. Oké? Maar
The photo.
about zeker about you ID.
ID.
Wie are you?
Who are you?
Maar zes paspoort ook. Is oké. Als zelfs.
Yeah. If you don't say nothing, then who are you? You know. So that's why. This is fucked up, man. He's up here, he's kind of shit, man.
Ja.
Bullshit, man. About the passport, you know the passport. Let's say if you transsexual, such you want. I don't want to talk about you. Thank you, man. You started up here like a customer, man. Hey, that's you.
Like a customer.
That's man.
I'm a customer.
Salam,
I'm a customer.
Let's say if you had a transsexual there, right? And you see that look like a man, but when you go travel outside, then you go see that a man with the passport has show you are a female.
Yeah.
But he don't put that. He could put something else, man. He's not change anything, you know. It makes no sense, man. The rule is like change anything you want, man. Fuck it, man. Fuck the sexual, man. Fuck the homosexual.
Give me the Psalms.
The Psalms chapter
Yeah,
90.
man.
The Psalms chapter 97 and verse 10.
Yeah, this for you. This for you. This for you.
Okay, go and slack up before you go. You're gonna say if I say something that, and then you're gonna get flagged.
It's been a long time since we got flagged.
Hey! Pretty good.
The Psalms chapter 97 and verse 10. He that loved the Lord Yahweh hate evil. He preserved the souls of his saints. He delivered them out of the hand of the wicked.
Yeah, yes. So,
That's what I was saying before about the word that people
but you also were speaking about, yeah, you mad. So that's the hatred. The scripture just said, ye that love the Lord hate evil, and that's that hatred that you have. You mad when you speak about these things. So if you go into that word hate, it means regard with ill will, to treat as an enemy. You see, so that's where this comes from, because we love the Lord, that we hate the abominations that we see.
Ja.
You see?
Okay, let's go.
So let's go to the Isaiah 47
Go back here.
and read it till 12. It was 11 and 12, and then we done.
It's Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
You see? So the destruction and desolation is going to come from every side, man. All these nations, Russia, Korea, China, all of them are going to bomb America. So America is not going to know from which side it comes, you know? So all these nations are going to take a parable against her, you see? And she's going to sit in the dust. She's going to be brought low. Go ahead.
Stand now with thy enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail.
Yeah, you see, so Shalom, yeah, so stand now with thy enchantments. So the Most High, he's like, okay, so now, you know, he takes away the power of the left hand side. So now he's like, okay, after he's being bombed, after the half's been bombed, okay, so what now? You know, you don't have any power on the left hand side. I took that away. So go to your enchantments and your sorceries then, you know, which thou hast labored since thy youth. Because since America is established, they have been dealing with these things. They have been doing things through enchantments and sorceries. That's why they're the daughter of the Chaldeans, also the ruling class, you know, the ruling class, which are the Illuminati, the 1%. You know, they set up all these things, but the Most High is going to take it all away. You see, they're not going to have these left-hand side demons whispering things in their ear or telling them what kind of snares and traps to lay. You see? So that's going to be the end all and be all for Babylon the Great, that virgin daughter of Babylon. So with that, we hope this video is edifying, and we want to say all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth, and who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.
Shalom. Okay,